That song's better. Thank you very much, Spotify, for not telling me the song was about to be up there. Welcome back, everybody! I am so pumped. I'm so excited for this. It is draft day. It is officially draft day for the Backyard Project. It has been a long time in the making. A long time. But we are here. Welcome, everybody, to the AZ Axel channel. I am the host, the commissioner of the Backyard Project, as our little baseball on the screen gradiently and slowly counts us down to our beginning timer. Hope y'all are having a fantastic Saturday. Was there a mock draft? There were many mock drafts. Welcome, everybody, to Draft Day, Season 1. It is the Season 1 draft. You guys have got about a minute and 30 seconds left to get your final bets in for who you believe is going to be the first overall pick. There we go. Go ahead and get that music on out here. I'm going to go ahead and slide on over. We should be able to do a couple different things. Oh, hold on one second. Hold on one second. I am not prepared for this. I am not prepared. How do I enter a bet? You'll do exclamation mark bet. Just do what A-Dub did, basically, Roman and Day Twitch. You can do exclamation mark bet, a space bar, and then the word, the keyword, which is basically the last name of whoever you want to bet for, and then another space bar and the amount of points you want to put towards said character. I hope y'all are having a fantastic Saturday. One thing real fast, hold on. Where do I think Dean Danger should go? Let's see. It'll be interesting to see what Sergeant Mushroom thinks about Dean Danger. It'll be interesting to see what Sergeant Mushroom thinks about most of this draft. I'll be very interested in seeing what he thinks about all of this. 1 second as well. I'm just realizing now that my webcam is not ready where it should be. Hold on 1 second, folks. I gotta actually, get it reset because, of course, I didn't plan on doing this, but we got something in the mail. Mail time, mail time, mail time. I don't know why I'm just suddenly coming up with this in my head and remembering Blue's Clues, but here's the mail. It never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to yell, mail! Sorry, that's my childhood coming out here. Regardless, we got our new t-shirts in, and they look fantastic, okay? Good, everyone knows that reference at least. So, we officially now have our t-shirts. We have black ones, white ones. We've got colored ones depending upon the team. So the Rockets here have a white one, a black one. They also have a yellow, which matches the yellow on the logo, and a dark blue as well. You guys can go and find all of those. You can find all of those on our merch store. We'll talk about that in just a little bit of time. Speaking of which, we actually are due to talk about our quick little housekeeping notes before we get started. So let me at least have some time. Give me 5 minutes, guys. Give me 5 minutes, and we'll get into the draft, all right? We have a tight schedule today, but we also have some goals to get to. Hopefully everything sounds correct. Hopefully everything looks correct. Welcome again, everyone, to the BYP. My name is Alex Murray, also known as AZ Axel. I am the host of this channel, commissioner of the BYP, the corrupt commissioner of the BYP, remembering Blue's Clues and suddenly singing live on the channel because I am so happy and excited to be here at this point. All right. Sorry, I'm a little excited, as you can see. Brent, thank you so much for the $5. I will consider that part of our goal for the day. Our goal for today is that if we get 20 subs... and I don't like doing this normally, but I'll do it here because I can do it kind of for free-ish. If we get 20 subs, I'll count Brent's $5 there as one sub. We've had 3 so far. If we get 20, I will push the entire draft live to Stats Plus at the end of the stream. No, sorry, right after the 4th round is revealed. We'll cover everything today. We will go as long as we have to go. We will stay here until the cows come home. We will go all the way until Ditch is streaming the showdown. And we will cover every single team. And we will cover every single pick. because I'm a masochist and I like to be able to hurt myself sometimes. So you know what? That's what happens, right? That's the right terminology for that. I like to sometimes do things that are absolutely not worth it for me to do. But yes, let's get through our other stuff for the day real fast before we get into the rest of our stream. Sometimes that's just adulting. Yes, sometimes it just feels like adulting sometimes. That is very true. That is very true. Just I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. Oh my gosh. I'd have to play the Johnny Cash version of that song because that song is amazing. Anywho. We're getting sidetracked, guys. No more sidetracking. We got some stuff to cover. As always, thank you everyone for being here. If you're not part of the BYP, this is all of our teams live on the screen right here. 24 different organizations. The Kermit version of that song is better. Oh, send that to me, Sergeant Mushroom. I need to hear that. I've never heard that one before. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Regardless, welcome to the BYP. We have a couple different things to talk about before we get started. As always, if you like the channel here, please do hit that follow button. Lets me know that you enjoy the content, lets you know when we go live, because you'll get a notification about it. If you really like the content, you can subscribe to the channel, and if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can subscribe for free. Part of one of the benefits of being part of the Amazon Prime membership system is that you do get one free sub every single month via Amazon's money. So give it to us. Give us Amazon's money, okay? That's the way to do it. So I do believe, yes, Joker was the one who came through with a Prime sub for himself. Thank you. Attica Online also resubbing as well. Thank you. Bezos doesn't need it, but the BYP sure as heck does, okay? Alrighty. Anywho, those are our quick little blips about that. As always, you can join our Discord as well. If you are part of the BYP, I highly recommend that you join our Discord. Type in !BYP Discord in the chat, be able to get that link, get the invite, get into our Discord, so that way you can keep track of your players, get our updates, and everything else that happens across the league as a whole. That includes
on that merry-go-round for another
resubs.
ride.
Thank you so much, Shreddy. Shreddy G6, thank you so much for the Prime sub. 2 months. From Shreddy. Thank you. You get 2,000 caps for that Prime resub. Thank you. And hello, Damphir Dracul. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. I know you were one of our newer people from a couple days ago, I believe. So about a week ago, technically, at this point. But regardless, welcome back. All right, as always, the Discord gives you league updates, announcements, community votings, team channels for every single organization in the BYP to talk about their team and their communities, the articles and commentary that we had from past seasons, player submission advice, special sub channels. If you're part of our subscription system here on Twitch, you get special sub channels on the Discord, places that only the commissioner and other subs are a part of. And as always, you get preview of BYP content if you are also a sub, and sometimes when I just decide to throw stuff out there for everyone to be able to see. As always, part of our channel here is the Caps point system. Over time, as you watch the channel, you will be earning caps. This is our in-channel points system. Every single 10 minutes, you earn 25 caps for watching. Followers, for the first time they hit the follow button, will receive 500 caps. It's a one-time thing. Resubbing, subbing, or gifting a sub will get you 2,000 caps every single time you do that. If you tip $1, you will get 500 caps for that. So for the $5 tip that I believe that was Brent sent in, that's about 2,500 caps going over to Brent at this point. As always, if you do Twitch cheers, if you do the bits, those are always going to be about 200 caps for every single 100 bits cheered. And as always, we also do give away caps for people who purchase merchandise. We round up to $10, and we'll give you 2,000 caps for every single $10 spent on our merchandise. And as always, you can use those channel points whenever we do stream bets, as Tim Gross said. At this point, you can lose caps if you lose bets. We're doing a bet right now. It has already had its timer expire at this point. We are trying to do a bet on who we believe is going to be the #1 overall pick in the draft. Benjamin Abenduct, Roman Aday, Wade Beers, or Jody Weed. And a lot of people going for Benjamin Abenduct, and I don't blame them. He is definitely the best catcher in the system. Also, you guys can go ahead and start purchasing items from our channel store. This is using your channel points. This is the caps as well. You can purchase player boosts, an additional player slot. You can also purchase the rights to name a team's first name if you want to be able to do that. Catcher? When did he decide to change? I'm sorry, wait, did I say catcher? No, pitcher. I'm sorry. He's the best starting pitcher in the game. I am so confused, unfortunately. I am just making stuff up now at this point. But regardless, you can use the exclamation mark store to be able to get to that. Make your purchases with the caps you earn over the course of the time here on the channel. And as always, as I just mentioned, and just showed off to all of you out there, we have t-shirts in, and they look phenomenal, by the way. These are actually really, really good, okay? I appreciate that you made my crappy drawing the custom player picture. It was perfect, Joker. How could that not be a perfect example of customizing what we already offer to people, all right? But yes, t-shirts are here. You can purchase t-shirts of any of the 24 teams that we have on our BYP systems. How do you use channel points, says Brent? So you can use channel points in our store, and you can use channel points on the bets that happen live on the stream. So the store is going to be your bigger reason for spending those caps and being able to purchase any of the items on the store. You will notice when you go to that store that the Nobles is no longer purchasable. So that is something you can no longer do. The Nobles have been purchased. They have had their name changed, their first name, and that is in the system already. So, as always, like I was just saying, sorry as well to sidetrack on that, but you can purchase you can purchase t-shirts of any of the teams, and we'll be adding a few more color options as we go down the road as we have some more time on our hands, but those are available now in our Stream Elements store, not the channel store. This is a merch store that Stream Elements does separately. You will have to pay for those with real actual money, unfortunately. Tier 1 subs will get a $5, roughly estimated $5 discount. Tier 2s get $10 off, and Tier 3s get our full discount of $15. If you are a sub, you can get a reduced price on our t-shirts. And this will be important as people start to get to teams and they want to get stuff that maybe exemplifies their team. On top of having t-shirts, we also still have our Exclaim store. We are still looking to grow our team, our apparel store here on Exclaim. We have many different items on the Exclaim store. Thank you so much, by the way, G-Town. Jono, thank you so much for that follow. Thank you. I do appreciate that. We are looking to finally add all of the jerseys from all 24 teams to our apparel Exclaim store. So very, very soon we will have all of those, and I'm looking forward. We finally added ball caps and backpacks. I have a cap on the way, so I'll be looking to get my baseball cap here pretty soon, let you all know how it looks, how it feels, how good quality it is, and then we are getting an updated baseball jersey. We were told by Exclaim that they have made their jerseys a little bit thicker, so they actually have a better cloth, or not a better cloth, but a better supplier for their jerseys, so they are hopeful that those look a little bit nicer at this point. So we'll be looking to get those pretty soon. I'll have more updates as we get all the rest of the stuff updated on our store for the merch. Otherwise, we have updated our BTTV emotes. If you don't have the BTTV plugin, we have all of our team emotes in the system at this point. And hello, Mr. Baseball. Welcome back. First time chatter from Mr. Baseball. Thank you. Welcome to the channel. Welcome. We do have BTTV emotes. Every single team in the system has their own custom emote. If you have the BTTV plugin, you can actually do that and be able to see all of the team's emotes for free. You don't have to get those with a subscription. And as always, we are going to be doing raffles over the course of the entire day as well. I might even see if... Hold on. Jake, are you set up as a mod? Hold on. I don't believe you are. I need to see if... I just need to see if I can get somebody to help me manage that while I do the rest of this entire stream, because I am going to have so much on my hands today. I actually do need to actually have a mod in the system. There you go. Alrighty, so Jake, when the announcement comes into the channel that we want to do a raffle, you should be able to type in the command to be able to do that, okay? You should be able to do that, and if not, I can do it otherwise, all right? Alrighty, otherwise, team loyalty chants are still coming through as well. We've gotten most of the team loyalty chants already finished. We will be having them all brought into the system down the road. It's / raffle, Qui-Gon Jake, when we get to that point. You can try that out when we get to our first raffle of the day, and we'll have some time for that. But / raffle would be the code word to be able to do that, but you have to be a mod to be able to make that happen. So maybe we'll test it out here in a little bit of time. We'll see about that. But we do have our team loyalty chants. Those are all coming into the system. We'll have some more updates about that as we go along, guys. We'll be able to do all of that. And as always, we are changing some of our scheduling information. We will be looking at doing some adjustments to opening week, so that we start on a Saturday. That will most likely than not be on, that's going to be June 8th is going to be our actual opening day.
Now that's what I call
Brent,
togetherness.
thank you so much, Brent, for the gifted sub to Mr. Baseball. Thank you for the gifted sub. The day is early. Mr. Baseball, my wife just booted up her PC heater. Oh no, Attica. Oh, get the ice out. Get the ice out. Cooled drinks and everything. So as always, guys, thank you so much for being here. Welcome back again to the BYP. We are all set and ready to go. I don't believe I have anything else to cover. I think we're all set. Are we all set, guys? Are we all set? Welcome to the Season 1 BYP draft. You're going to be hearing a lot from me and Qui-Gon Jake. We are going to be the two people who are doing most of the scouting reports over the course of the next little bit of time. And one thing real fast here, I need to get this thing off the screen. Hold on one second. The bets are done. I need to disable it. Boom. That should be disabled. There we go. That's what I want to do. Thank you, Stream Elements. Okay, and then I should be able to do this. And then I should be able to say, hey, can you refresh? And it should be fine. All right, there we go. So, me and Qui-Gon Jake are going to be doing most of the scouting reports. About half of them are going to be us. But in addition to hearing the usual voices on this channel, we are also going to be having 5 guest hosts. 5 guest hosts are going to be here this evening helping us do some scouting reports. That's, of course, going to be Attica Online, DA186, Tetsuigi, EVC and NYC2, and Ezra Denny. Please do give them all a big round of applause in the chat. They have done such a great job helping us do all the scouting reports and saving my poor voice at this point. So we set out invitations, Tedio, to all of the affiliates, and these are the 5 that got back to us. So these are the people that were interested and asked to be participating in the entire system, and these are the people we got. So these are the people we're going to be using for the rest of the entire show. You will be hearing their voices for about half of the submitted players, or not submitted players, but the players being drafted for the afternoon. All right, we're 30 minutes into this. The other affiliates should be ashamed of them. No. Some of the affiliates are just absolutely too busy. I am actually really surprised that EVC had time to give us his scouting reports. He has been on vacation, and he still got us scouting reports. So certain individuals are just absolutely too busy right now, and that's just how it is. I don't blame them. We get new affiliates every single couple of months. It happens. It happens. Thank you for the follow, Infinite Jester 23. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that follow. I'm in a pool with a beer, says EVC. That sounds like a fantastic situation to be in, EVC. Congratulations on the pool and the beer. So regardless, everyone, these are going to be our affiliates. Again, once again, a round of applause and a thank you to all of them for helping out with this whole entire draft, saving my voice, basically, for the next couple of hours. Yeah, Alex wouldn't stop calling me. I had to block him, said kidneys. Oh, good grief. Good grief. Yeah, I had to shut me out, unfortunately. All right, guys. I believe it's time. I do believe that it is time. This is our draft order for Season 1. The Whistlers get the first overall pickup in the Season 1 draft. All right. Hold on to your butts, guys. Let's get started. Season 1, the BYP and the draft. Whistlers get the first overall selection, round 1, pick number 1. And with the first overall selection The Whistlers will be selecting Benjamin Abenduct. Well, the Whistlers did mention that they were going to go with somebody familiar, and Benjamin Abenduct, their captain from the past 2 seasons, is going to be the first overall selection here in the Season 1 draft. His stuff, movement, and a very decent control amount is going to be an excellent starting pitcher for the Whistlers, one of 3 starting pitchers they will have in the upcoming season. Only time will tell if the pick here at the first overall selection as a starting pitcher is going to be better than all of the additional batters that were available for the number 1 pick. Abenduct goes to the Whistlers. Yeah, the Whistlers were commenting about how they wanted something a little bit familiar, and then there was that whole entire situation with Wade Beers getting a little bit of an upgrade, but they stick with their guns, and they will pick up a starting pitcher for the number 1 overall pickup here. Let's go ahead and give out the bets at this point. So our contest goes to everyone who picked up Benjamin Abenduct. Congratulations to all of the winners. Jake, would you like to go ahead and run the raffle really fast? I'll go ahead and let you all enjoy a raffle really quickly. I'm going to make sure that everything is working correctly on my end. You can see if it works on your end with the exclamation mark raffle, if you'd like to be able to do that. There we go. Everyone can join in on that raffle while we get into selection number 2. And that is going to be, of course, going to the Cacti. The Cacti get the second overall selection. And after seeing what happened in the first overall selection, what do you guys think? What do you guys think is going to be the option here for the Cacti? What do they do? What do they do? With the second overall pick, the Cacti will be selecting Tim Gross.
Tim Gross has an appropriate last name, because that knuckleball of his is absolutely disgusting. He throws it for strikes, he rarely gets any hard contact off it, and he can command it about as well as a knuckleball can be. Even better, when the winds are low and the knuckler isn't dancing, Gross has a curveball and sinker to draw on. The Cacti have themselves an ace among aces, and the rest of the league should be frightened.
Thank you so much, Tetsugi, for that scouting report. This is going to be an interesting pickup, and we'll see whether or not chat is split 50-50 on it, or if they like it all the time. But Tim Gross goes to the Cacti. We go back-to-back starting pitchers to start off the draft. Only time will tell if this is going to be a really good pickup. I still think it's really solid. Sergeant Mushroom thinks it's a solid pick. I still believe that out of all the players in the league, having 2 elite pitchers is still going to be one of the best things you can do. So great pickup here for the Cacti. Still think that it's also a familiar pick for them. I don't recall, Tim, if you were actually part of the Cacti system in past seasons or not, but regardless, a good solid pickup here by the Cacti. Moving on to pick number 3. This is where it's going to get interesting, folks. This is where it's going to get interesting. We have had 2 returning players. Tim Gross's character returns to the Cacti. Benjamin Abenduct returns to the Whistlers. The Trains do not have any loyalties here. So what do they do? What do they do here? The Trains, with the 3rd overall selection, the mean team of the season, will be selecting Roman Aday.
Roman Aday is an elite batter who will even make pitchers like Randy Johnson sweat. When he's not slapping the ball around the park, he's blasting it out. His 85 and 76 rating for contact and gap power respectively complement his own not-so-secret weapon, his raw power. Maxing out at the 125 cap, Roman Aday will be a monster to pitch to. And pitchers with poor control will be right to fear him, as he also has a golden eye with an uncomfortably accurate ability to discern the good pitches from the bad. And not only is his eye and bat stellar, but his glove is also very exceptional, as he is capable of being a solid fielder anywhere across the diamond. With all of these incredible skills, Roman Ade has a very bright outlook for this season.
Let me adjust my volume here really fast. That should help a little bit. My apologies. Good report there from Qui-Gon Jake. I'll try to make sure that the VOD has a little bit more boost on that volume there. But interesting selection here with the third overall pick going to the Trains, Roman Ade. There's been reports that they were a little bit too concerned about defense here in the first round. So we'll have to see what the analysts say about this pickup. But Roman Ade goes third to the Trains. This will be a potential shortstop, third base, second base position for the Trains in the upcoming season. And they definitely liked the batting profile that Roman Ade provided as well. And no worries, Qui-Gon Jake. I'll see if I can get a little bit more out of your audio as well. I will see if I can get a little bit more out of your audio. They liked the power. So to answer Sergeant Mushroom's question about that, they really liked the power. They wanted the max power, but they thought that an infielder would be better than an outfielder. Going on to pick number 4, that is going to be the Owls. The Owls, with pick number 4 on the clock, are going to be going with Kaz Cappy.
The Owls used their 4th overall selection on one of my favorite pitchers in this draft, Kaz no-hitter Cappy. Great strikeout stuff, good home run suppression, a 3-pitch mix highlighted by an exceptional knuckleball, plus the stamina to go deep into games. I think that Kaz is a real candidate for the Starting Pitcher of the Year award.
Definitely a potential for Pitcher of the Year award for Kaz Cappy. If I need to make myself even more quieter, let me know, and I can go a little bit more, and then everyone else can get at least a little bit more balance out of the entire mix for the day. I'll try to make sure it's not too bad, and that I'm not going to be too overpowering compared to all of the voiceovers. Alrighty. That is going to be a good report there from DA. Kaz Cappy goes 4th overall to the Owls. This was the 3rd best pitcher in the draft at this point, and we'll have to see what that indicates for the rest of the first round. Yes, it was very pitcher-heavy, Mr. Audit. We noticed there was a lean towards pitchers in this first round, a little bit more than I was expecting out of this entire first round. And we'll have to see how that influences the remainder of the draft and exactly how that looks down the road. All right. That will be the Owls' 4th pick of the entire draft. Going on to number 5, it is time for the Cluckers. And the Cluckers, with their round 1 5th overall selection, will be going with Wade Beers. This is a match made in heaven. You've got chicken and waffles and beer. How can you not be happy about this? Wade Beer goes to the Cluckers. Now, the bigger issue and the reason why this is a number 5, 5th overall pick here is going to be that defense. Only a 59 third base rated defensive ability from Wade Beers drops him down to the 5th spot, but this bat is going to be phenomenal all season. You've got the 121 contact, it's a maxed out BABIP. You've got the 125 maxed out power and a complimentary 97 eye discipline. He's going to walk, he's going to get on base, he's going to hit a lot of home runs. The question is just going to be, do the Cluckers find a better third baseman and put Beers at DH, or do they stick with him as their third baseman for the duration of the season? Wade Beers goes 5th overall to the Cluckers. Interesting pickup and an interesting decision regarding the defense about Wade Beers, but he falls to number 5 out of the entire draft, and he will be heading over to the Cluckers, which just seems kind of perfect, doesn't it? It just seems like it was kind of a perfect situation at this point. I would hate to have the DH penalty on that bat. That is very true as well, though, your kidneys. That is actually very true. We will see if they play him at third base or if they expect him to be playing at DH over the course of the regular season. That is going to be the Cluckers' 5th overall selection, the Bats, with pickup number 6. And with pick number 6, the Bats will be going with Christina Beatty.
Hey, it's EVC in NYC too. Actually, not in NYC at the moment, but you know what I mean. Anyway, with the 6th overall pick of the draft, the Bats pick up not a bat, a pitcher, Christina Beatty, or is it Beatty? Either way, we know Music Lessons will be happy. I've mispronounced another name for their squad on the theme team crew. Christina has an average fastball, but the slider is one of the nastiest in the league, and combined with the strong slider and circle change, will be a top hurler in the league. Watch out for those walks, but is hit or eye even a thing in this league? The Bats will find out with Christina coming in at number 6 overall.
Thank you so much, EVC, for that scouting report on Christina Beatty. Yes, it is Beatty. Yes, that's a good question as well, though. Is I even a thing in the league as well at this point? I don't actually know. Definitely love that the circle change, sinker, slider combination, the stamina 99, and the Bats didn't get the memo exactly, Tim Gross. They kind of forgot the memo was that they were supposed to pick bats. But they pick up Christina Beatty, maybe influenced by all of the better pitchers selected ahead of them. I think there was a lot of people who expected a lot of bats to be selected in the first, 6 pickups, and instead we have now had, 4 starting pitchers in the first 6 selections. So that is the Bats. They have selected Christina Beatty, their ace pitcher for the regular season. That would bring us up to the Bears. And with the number 7 overall pick, the Bears are going to be selecting Bully McGuire. Bully McGuire ends up on the Bears again. To be honest, it's also a good fit. It's a good pickup here. 7th overall pick here in the Season 1 draft. Bully McGuire, the best defensive center fielder in the game with maximum power, decent contact, good gap power, and just enough eye and avoid Ks to not make those into weaknesses, goes here to the Bears. It's a match made in heaven. It's a good fitting for both of them. We'll see if the defense has any problems with the air and the arm, but that range means that he is going to catch every single ball hit out towards him, and he will be smacking balls over the fences all season long. It's going to be a little bit weird to see how exactly that pans out in terms of WAR and certain statistics, but this is a great pickup for the Bears. Definitely one of the toughest positions to fill in the BYP, and they have done so with Bully, which goes along with all of their strategies from their past seasons. This is a good fit for them. Bully McGuire goes 7th overall to the Bears. That will be their starting center fielder and most likely the not cleanup hitter for the foreseeable season. Moving on to pick number 8, that's going to be the Reapers. And with pick number 8, the Reapers will be selecting Pablo Sanchez.
I do love the smell of fear. Is that tacos? Pablo Sanchez, the secret weapon. The legendary backyard kid himself. A surprising turn of events as he is drafted 8th overall by the Reapers. Amazing power, the ability to play the field literally anywhere except for potentially center field and first base because he's a short guy. And the ability to run like the wind. And that bunt, though. Boy, oh boy, is this boy made differently. Whatever he's having for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, please share because I need that too.
Don't we all, Attica? Don't we all? Thank you, Attica, for the scouting report on Pablo Sanchez. He will go 8th overall to the Reapers. He is projected to be their starting shortstop for the regular season. Again, that absolutely fantastic power and defense and speed, and we'll have to see what exactly this means for other teams and if this was a good pick or a bad pick here at the 8th overall selection. Again, Pablo Sanchez goes to the Reapers for Season 1. Moving on to pick number 9, that is going to be the Frogs. And with selection number 9, the Frogs will be picking up Nan Porter.
Standing at 6 foot 4 inches, Nan Porter is an imposing and terrifying pitcher to go up against. She has the stuff of legends, with movement that will surprise even the best of hitters. Wielding a unique arsenal of 6 elite pitches, Porter will have no difficulties keeping batters guessing what type of pitch is coming next. And you better not blink when she throws the ball, or you'll miss the pitch. Her fireball of an arm tops out at over 100 miles per hour.
The gooch likes
Her elite
that.
pitching
Yeah,
skills
give
are
me some more of
accompanied
that.
by above-average control and stamina. And make no mistake, opposing clubs will be groaning when they find out that Nan Porter is taking the mound today.
Well, it sounds like Vinny likes the pick as well. Thank you so much for the follow, Pecan. Thank you so much for that follow. Enjoy your 500 caps for having that follow done live on the channel here. Thank you. Nan Porter goes to the Frogs. It is quite a leap, isn't it, Dukeston? Ha! All right. That's enough of that. Regardless, Nan Porter definitely the last of the, I would almost call them majorly elite starting pitchers left in the system, and the Frogs, not wanting to fall behind on the starting pitchers list, have selected Nan as their first round selection here at number 9. Number 10 is going to be
gooch
the
likes that.
Rockets.
Yeah, give me some more of that.
Squirrels, thank you so much for the follow. I do appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Enjoy your 500 caps for having that follow button. And Rockets, the Rockets are number 10. And with the 10th pick, overall pick selection, the Rockets will be selecting Jody Weed.
We welcome you to the BBC scouting report for Ms. Jody Weed, who has been drafted by the Rockettes. Ms. Weed, whose nickname is merely the punctuation mark period, no idea how that's pronounced, is a switch hitter who is a catcher. Ms. Weed is a fine hitter, especially featuring a very strong bat. Now, I have no idea how she would do it fair in your American baseball, but in cricket, she would be fantastic. Hit the ball quite well. There would be no sticky wickets with her, no. She's a fine defensive catcher, and really the only drawback in her game is her lack of speed. Ms. Weed is not much of a runner, and so the BBC scouting report on Ms. Weed gives her a solid grade of a B+. This is the BBC Scouting Combine, returning you to your regularly scheduled program.
Oh my goodness gracious me, Ezra. That was fantastic. Good grief. All right, hold on. If I can boost it up just even a little bit more, I'll see what I can do here, folks. If you need to, turn up the audio, and I will turn down my voice just to see if that helps. I don't want to have to do too much in the audio, because then you're going to get absolutely blasted when I do my scouting reports, unfortunately. But that is fantastic, Ezra. Thank you so much for the scouting report on Jody Weed. Thank you so much. All you heard was Rockettes and crickets? Good grief. Good grief. I refute that report. She wouldn't be good as a keeper. She would be better at... Wait, what? She would be better at silly mid-on? Good grief. Oh, dear me. Anywho, Jody Weed goes to the Rockets with the 10th overall selection here in the Season 1 draft. Sorry, I've now lost complete sense of everything with that scouting report. Thank you so much again, Ezra, for doing that. All right, it's time for the Ninjas. The Ninjas, with the 11th pick of the draft, are going to be our next selection. And with it, the Ninjas will be picking up Dean Danger.
The gooch likes that.
That's
Yeah,
right,
give me
Dean
some more of
Danger
that.
goes to the Ninjas. Now, the first thing we're going to notice is that he is probably not going to be their full-time shortstop. There's a lot more better defensible options than Dean Danger. Not that a 58 shortstop's bad, but definitely do want to look into that 72 defense at third base. That's going to be a good one right about there. Could also play first base if they get a good third baseman as well. Is going to be a 117 at first base. But Dean Danger brings to the plate the most benefits, and that's going to be that 125 power. That's a maxed out power rating at this point. 79 on the gap power, 71 on the contact. So not going to be as consistent as, say, a Wade Beers, but still going to be able to have a more batting average friendly slugger who can max out on that power and can play a bunch of other positions besides first base and DH. Look to see Dean Danger maybe being optioned to second base if the Ninjas find a better shortstop and a better third baseman as they move along in this draft. All right, there we go. That's going to be the pickup there for the Ninjas. I'll try to do some live audio work on this, guys. I'll try to make sure that it's balanced so that way we don't have too much on all of that. But a good pickup here by the Ninjas. They get to pick up Dean Danger for their 11th overall selection here in the draft. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they play him. Probably third base is what I'm guessing. But we'll have to see what the rest of the Ninjas draft for the first 4 rounds at least is going to look like. All right, moving on. We're going to be going up to our 12th selection of the first round. That's going to be the Warlocks. It is time for the Warlocks to give us their submission. And the 12th overall selection for the Warlocks is going to be... Who's on first?
Huh. That's an odd last name. Might be German? Zonfurst? Yeah, let's go with that. Hugh Zonfurst has an incredibly well-balanced bat, ranking above average for contact and power. He should be hitting liners to all fields and making some serious dents in those outfield fences. Hugh can also capably play around the infield, but he'll find his natural home at either corner. Hugh's a great choice for the Warlocks to build a team around, a linchpin for the lineup.
Thank you so much for that report there, Tessawigi. This will be an interesting pickup as well. We had a couple of these characters who had, almost like borderline utility type defensible positions where they can play third, they can play second, they could technically play short. Who's on first going to be another of those selections going to the Warlocks here in the 12th overall selection. If Who's on first isn't at first base, then what are we doing here? Well, technically the joke is always third base. So if Who's on first is going to be anywhere, I would imagine it would be third base. But anywho, somebody's going to get the best catcher in the game in a late round at this rate, says Warbot. Oh, trust me, Warbot, you're not going to go that far into this draft, okay? This is a nuts reach. This is a little bit of a bold reach here by the Warlocks, but they liked the versatility that Who's on First provided with the really good bat. So they have selected Who's on First here with the 12th overall selection. And we shall be moving on to the 13th pickup, which of course is the Nobles. And I will, as is tradition on this channel, I will allow you all 10 seconds to go ahead and put down your boos in the channel if you don't like the Nobles. There they are. The Nobles with their 13th overall selection, as they have joined the Sunny Day League with the rest of the Royalty and Fantasy Division, which has now been changed. And with the 13th overall selection, the Nobles will be picking up Bradford Smart. This submission has caught even me by surprise. This is Bradford Smart. This is a submitted player going 13th overall to the Nobles of all teams. This is B Smart. He's a switch-hitting, right-handed throwing outfielder, can play left field like the best of them, can play right field, evenly divided outfield range, air, and arm. Could even be optionally played at center field if the Nobles don't get anybody better than his 66 rated center field ability. He is going to bring a balanced bat to the plate as well. He's got that 85 contact, 61 gap power, 86 power, and 76 eye. There's not a lot of weaknesses with Bradford Smart. It might just be that running game, unfortunately. He's got the speed, he's got the base running, but he doesn't have any of that stealing ability or stealing aggression. So we'll see what they do if Bradford Smart, where he ends up playing by the end of the regular season, and if the Nobles made a too early decision with Bradford Smart, or if this was a perfect pickup for the Nobles here at the 13th overall selection. Yeah, a bold choice here from the Nobles. They go with basically a corner outfielder is what it looks like, but they're prepping for the idea that they probably will not be getting a good center fielder, but they wanted the balanced bat, so they pick up Bradford Smart here in the 13th overall selection, and these picks are just going to start getting spicy. These picks are going to start getting a little bit spicy here. Moving on to the number 14 overall selection, that is going to be going to the Mythics. And with the 14th overall selection, the Mythics will be picking up Randy Johnson.
The Mystics have gone big with this 14th overall selection still here in the first round. Going with the big unit, Randy Johnson. Features a devastating fastball and slider combo. Walks will be an issue, but he has the ability and the stamina to strike his way out of trouble.
Thank you so much, DA, for that scouting report on Randy Johnson. It's an interesting pickup here right after what the Nobles should have maybe picked up Randy Johnson, but I don't know. Would you guys have appreciated if Randy Johnson went to the Nobles of all teams? Regardless, the Mythics will be selecting their ace pitcher here with Randy Johnson. This should be a very good pickup. One of the better pitchers left in the draft at this point. So we'll see how this goes for them as they move forward into the rest of the first 4 rounds. As we enter into the second half of the first round here, the Admirals with the 15th overall selection are next. And the Admirals with the 15th overall pickup will be selecting Pseudonym.
Pseudonym. Although few people know his real name, Pseudonym at first seems very unimposing. At only 5 foot 2 inches, you might be forgiven at first glance to think that he's out of his league. But you wouldn't be more wrong. At a maxed out BABIP, you can be sure that every time he swings, the ball will go somewhere that a defensive glove is not. And once on base, he is a thief in the night. He steals so many bases that he makes Al Capone look like an angel. He won't be a competitor in the home run derby, however, and his lack of fielding does mean he is relegated to strictly DH. Nevertheless, expect every hit to result in Pseudonym advancing multiple bases, either by theft or even honest work.
Thank you so much, Qui-Gon Jake, for the scouting report on Pseudonym. Yes, this could be another interesting pickup here. Another person who has very much of a niche for a style of play that they want to be able to do in the league, and they're going to have to do it well. Otherwise, it'll be interesting to see whether or not that's going to cause a problem. But I will give you all just a little piece of information, just a smidge little hint. Pseudonym is projected to steal 40 bases in the upcoming season. 40. We play 30 games. 30. 3-0. He's going to steal 40. Potentially. Moving on to our next selection at this point, we have the Goats with the 16th overall selection here. And with the 16th overall selection, the Goats will be picking Ken Griffey Jr.
It takes a GOAT GM to realize one of the GOATs of the game. Talking the kid, Ken Griffey Jr. with the overall number 16 pick in the draft. While he can hit dingers, that below average eye might temper the expectations of the long ball, and the BABIP is considerably less than you'd like to see. But when he gets on base, he'll light up the base pass with his speed. Whatever he does with the bat, his defense is the real prize here, as he'll track down anything hit out there, whether he's patrolling right or center. The kid is out to prove he's a GOAT worthy of the GOATs.
Thank you so much, EVC, for the scouting report on Ken Griffey Jr., the 16th overall selection by the Goats here in the first round. The kid, a good, excellent runner, power hitter, and some decent to at least, Gold Glove caliber right field ability at this point for Ken Griffey Jr. as he joins the Goats in their outfield, and we'll see what they select in the upcoming rounds to supplement their pickup of Ken Griffey Jr. Moving on to selection number 17, that is going to be the Ducks. And with the 17th overall selection, the Ducks will be selecting Danny Smith. A last-second development in the Danny Smith training regimen has made him suddenly turn into the 17th overall pick here to the Ducks. The first base only, left-handed batting, left-handed throwing Danny Smith, also referred to as Boom Boom, which is going to make it very confusing for people who remember the Boom Boom McBroom character, who should be getting drafted very, very soon in the first round here as well. Danny Smith's going to bring 91 power and 90 gap power with a very balanced 71 I, 74 avoid K, and 71 BABIP. That results in a 78 contact. He's going to play first base very, very well with a 77 overall ability. Should be a very clutch bat for the Ducks here at the 17th overall selection. Yeah, it should be a fun one right about here. This was a last-second player upgrade as well. Danny D. Smith being able to get this player up to speed at the last second. And we are good to go at this point with him. So, number 17 overall goes to the Ducks, and that is Danny Smith. They will be enjoying his bat in their lineup as he plays first base over the course of the regular season. We move on to pick number 18 of the draft, and that is going to be going to the Armadillos. And with the 18th overall selection, the Armadillos will be picking up Hurricane.
For the 18th selection, the Armadillos select Hurricane. Now, Hurricane is not a power-hitting bat by any means. No. He has a noodle bat, but don't take him for granted, because this guy can get on base, whether it's a single or a walk or potentially hit by pitch. Although he doesn't have the type of speed to stretch a single into a double, he'll turn that single into extra bases in other ways just by stealing them. And he has incredible catching ability to control the flow of the game. Although the arm may not be the best, I would strongly advise base runners to not run on him. Once again, that is Hurricane, your 18th selection to the Armadillos.
Thank you so much, Attica, for that scouting report on Hurricane. This will be an interesting pickup as well. Noodle Bat is actually trademarked, Sir Pug. The BYP trademarked that about 5 years ago, so, put the TM next to there where it's deserved, okay? Just kidding. Anywho, Hurricane goes to the Armadillos with the 18th overall selection. That's going to be a good, interesting pickup for them. That solves their catcher pickup for the entire season, and we'll see how that makes the rest of the league. We touted this year as the season of the catcher, or the year of the catcher. And is that the only second catcher we've had drafted so far, chat? The Captains with the 19th overall pick. And with their 19th overall selection, they will be going with George Herman. There was rumors the Captains would be looking for a catcher, but with their restrictions to Captain Kegleg, who will be drafted later in this draft, they have instead resorted to taking on George Herman here in the 19th overall selection, the 104 power, 97 I outfielder, can play left field and right field comfortably, and may be optionally played in center field. He's got a balanced little speed approach about there, 54, 51, 51, and 36 on the base running, and 82 BABIP. The one problem with George Herman is going to be those avoid Ks. He's going to strike out a lot. He only has the 30 avoid K rating, but that 82 gap BABIP should make him a quality outfielder for season 1. A good pickup here for the Captains, probably expected to play right field for the upcoming season. Thank you so much, Sir Pug, for that TM on the Noodle Bat. Thank you. Yes, the stream lawyers have to get their way every now and then, okay? If you do the, if you sub to the channel, we can take the TM off, okay? Just kidding. Anywho, George Herman goes to the Captains here in the first round. And of course, this is because of the fact that they cannot draft a catcher. They are restricted on that until they pick up Captain Kegleg, which happens later in the draft. So unfortunately, they are not able to select any of the other catchers that were on the list. So they will be going with George Herman here in the 19th. Oh, you are subbed. Well, then you don't have to. My apologies. You can bypass that whole entire restriction, Sir Pug. Captains will pick up that corner outfielder and George Herman. It is time for the Pioneers. The Pioneers get the 20th overall selection here in the first round of the BYP Season 1 draft. And with their selection, the Pioneers will be selecting Bruce Springsteen.
And now, at the top of the hour, the BBC scouting report for American baseball. We have an exciting player who is something of a two-sport star, as the legendary musician Bruce Springsteen has decided to take his talents to baseball. He will be playing catcher for the Pioneers. His nickname, of course, the Boss. No word if the Pioneers will now move their stadium to E Street. Mr. Springsteen is a competent contact hitter that has some power, but not a great deal. An excellent defensive catcher who showcases a surprising amount of speed for a man his age. The only question is whether or not Mr. Springsteen's rather successful music career will tear him away from baseball prematurely. This has been the BBC Scouting Report on American baseball. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Oh, that's great. Oh, man. I love that. I love that. Bruce Springsteen goes to the Pioneers here at the 20th overall selection. He will be the switch hitting catcher for the Pioneers for Season 1. Doc Martin is now in progress. Yes, Attica. Oh, man. Either Doc Martin or what was the other British TV show that we all watched or, our parents watched growing up? It was Doc Martin and it was, oh gosh, I should know this. Oh, what was the other television show that usually ran either right before Doc Martin or right after Doc Martin as well? Or was it on different days? I think it was different days, actually. Not Top Gear, not Downton Abbey. No, not Benny Hick. It was a different program that was very, very similar to Doc Martin, if my memory was correct. But it might have been Benny Hill. I don't think it was Benny Hill, but I'll have to think about that. Regardless, 20th overall selection, Bruce Springsteen goes to the Pioneers. Mar Docton? Yes, the BBC had lots of quality content for a very long time. The 21st overall pick is going to be to the Giants, and with the Giants, speaking of all creatures great and small, the Giants, with their 21st overall selection, will be picking up Base Von Balls.
Base Von Balls is a superb catcher, both offensively and defensively. Behind the plate, his dynamite blocking and framing ability will calm the nerves of many jittery pitchers, and will be a nightmare for batters when he is paired with an ace. Expect many unfavorable calls and frustrated batters. He is also the long arm of the law with an 87 catcher arm, so don't even think about stealing with Von Balls behind the plate. As a batter, Von Balls has sometimes been accused of having a third eye due to how many walks he draws. At 88, it is world class. His contact and power make pitching to this hitter absolutely nerve-wracking. Although his avoid Ks and gap power leaves a bit to be desired, an average at bat for Base Von Balls will either be getting to first base via base hit or walk, or a trip around the diamond. Pick your poison, and beware Base Von Balls.
Base Von Balls goes to the Giants. He will be their starting catcher for the regular season. And as EVC says in chat, 21, cool. Let's get a good pitcher on the reverse snake draft. Yes, that is true. Because as people who are not aware, we do a serpentine draft here on the BYP, which means we go 1 to 24 and then 24 to 1. Back and forth across the draft order. So the Giants, with the 21st overall selection, will also be drafting in a couple more picks as we swing back around in round 2 at this point. So good pickup there for the Giants of Base Von Balls. That gives them an adequate catcher for the regular season. And that brings us up to our final 3 selections for round 1. Final 3 selections. We're almost through round 1 already. The Coyotes, with the 22nd overall pick, will be selecting Boom Boom McBroom.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about this kid raking in Hiroshima. Boom Boom McBroom definitely brings pop to his game. I've never seen so many balls leave the park during batting practice as when McBroom is teeing off. He's a bit of a 3 true outcomes guy, but the sound off the bat is like a shotgun. His arm is strong enough that third base is an option, but his footwork leaves a lot to be desired. Best to play him at first. The Coyotes have the archetype of a number 3 batter here.
Thank you so much, Testowigi, for the scouting report on Boom Boom McBroom. A good pickup here near the end of the first round. There's only so much you can do with the end of the first round, and all this power, you have to pick it at this point. Boom Boom is expected to be playing first base for the Coyotes moving into Season 1 unless they get somebody better at the first base position. Moving on from the 22nd overall pick, we go to the final 2 picks of the first round. It is the Kings and it is the Queens. And ladies and gentlemen, they are not going to disappoint. The Kings, with the 23rd overall pickup, are going to be going with Jay Green. Well, the Kings said they wanted to establish their royalty, and they have taken somebody that is a prime player at this point, and that is going to be Jay Green here with the 23rd overall selection here in the first round, the penultimate selection before the beginning of the second round. The 72 stamina, 82 hold runners, starting pitcher sports a 67 stuff ability. That's a 99 rated slider, 87 rated fastball, and an 66 rated changeup. My apologies. 79 on that overall movement ability. At this point, it's a 75 home run allowed, and 83 pitcher BABIP. 86 control is going to be Jay Green's calling card. He's going to be one of the only pitchers, or one of the few pitchers in the BYP who can actually limit walks, and he's got some really good fielding to go along with it. He should be a force on the mound for the Kings, and the 97 to 99 mile per hour power pitcher JJ goes to the Kings here with the penultimate 23rd overall pick. And to just harp on the colors, we did not update the colors in the system before we took these pictures. My apologies. The pictures in the game, when we actually get to it, will be corrected. They will not be using these colors. So Jay Green will not be using the cream yellow and the dark burnt red looking color. They will be the reflective new yellows, purples, and blues that the Kings are using for the regular season. Oh, you mean the name? Oh, good grief. Regardless, the Kings have selected Jay Green, and if the Kings are going to select Jay Green, the Queens have to select the counterpart. Right, chat? You have to select the counterpart. With the 24th overall selection, the Queens will be selecting Leah Wayne.
Lady Wayne being selected by the Queens seemed like a foregone conclusion. But she wasn't selected just because of the fantastic nickname. This power pitcher with high 90s velocity chooses to focus on control and not allowing hard contact with her traditional fastball, slider, changeup repertoire. And on top of that, she's a serviceable hitter with sneaky contact and power at the plate.
Thank you so much, DA, for the scouting report on Leah Wayne. This is Lady, and she will be going to the Queens representing their royalty at this point. So we had Jay Green and Leah Wayne going 1-2 at the end of the first round. And with that pickup, ladies and gentlemen, it is marbles time. It is time for a quick little break. 2-4. And the Queens are going to be back-to-back pickers here. They will start us off here in the second round. So let's get right back into it. And right back into it we go. Round 2, pick 25. The Queens, with the 25th selection of the draft, will be picking up Eric Kelly. The Queens supplement their great pickup of Leo Wayne with another good pickup right here of Eric Kelly. LB, as he is known, the 25th overall pick in the draft, sports that 87 power with a dual ability to play first base and third base. Expect LB to probably play third base in the upcoming season. He'll be bringing a balanced bat with a balanced fielding ability to that third base position for the Queens. Good pickup here. The right-handed batting, right-handed throwing third baseman does, again, sport that 87 power, 68 on the contact, 67 on the gap power, and 67 on the eye. Again, we said it was balanced. He's really good. This should be a good pickup right here. Eric Kelly goes to the Queens. The Queens get their corner infielder at the very least, probably going to be their third baseman for the season, and a good pickup here. Definitely could see Eric Kelly being either their number 3 or number 4 batter as we go further on into the draft. And it's just a good pickup here by the Queens. It'll be interesting to see if people who go to the second round either select the starting pitcher they didn't get in the first round or get a center fielder or shortstop that they didn't get. The position's going to matter at some points because there's only going to be so many good shortstops and only so many good center fielders. So it will be interesting to see how this all goes as we move forwards. The Kings with their 23rd, their 26th overall pickup. Round 2, pick number 2. And the Kings will go with Felix Martinez.
Here we are in the second round, and the Kings are getting their Felix. No, not King Felix, but maybe he'll turn out to be this generation's King Felix. Felix Martinez is the 26th pick in this draft. A plus outfielder in the corners who can play center field in a pinch. The bat is solid across the board with nice power and eye ratings that will be a solid contribution in that lineup for the Kings. May the Kings Felix reign. Long balls.
Thank you so much, EVC, for that scouting report on King Felix Martinez. Yes, we are absolutely going to be calling him King Felix the entire regular season now. A good corner outfielder, might be a center fielder for the Kings unless they get somebody better at this point. Yes, and long reign the King Felix long balls. Exactly. So the Kings make their known pick be a batter, and the Coyotes with the 27th overall selection here in the second round. We'll be selecting Curt Schilling.
Curt Schilling. This Alaskan native sports a very impressive 6-pitch arsenal, with every single pitch, his fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, splitter, cutter, all being top-notch. Topping that off with a really good stamina of an 80 and hold runners of 115, and most people might think, why did it take this long for Schilling to be drafted? And the reason for that, most likely, is the home runs allowed. The one chink in his otherwise flawless armor. At a 47, it's going to be his Achilles heel. Nevertheless, with his great stuff and amazing control, Schilling is certain to leave his mark on this season.
That much is going to be probably the truth at this point. Curt Schilling joins the Coyotes here in the second round, 27th overall selection. They get their ace pitcher here, and only time will tell if the Coyotes are able to utilize that well. Just keep the mic away from... Yeah, basically, just keep him on the field, okay? Just keep him on the field. Thank you, Qui-Gon Jake, for running the raffle as well. Everybody, we're going to go ahead and do a raffle really fast here while we get into the next couple of picks here. Exclamation mark join if you'd like to be involved in our raffle. The Giants with the 28th overall selection here in the Season 1 draft. We'll be picking up Brenda Marquardt.
For the 28th overall pick in the second round, the Giants will take Brenda Marquardt. Now, Brenda is being drafted as a starting pitcher, which is deservedly so. She potentially has the best curveball in the game, complemented by additional off-speed stuff in a very good circle change. The fastball and sinker are also plus pitches. Now, with that said, surprise, because she does have the goldest of gloves and can play anywhere in the infield. The bat is a liability, so the pitcher's mound is definitely the best place for her, at least for the start of the game. I think it would be incredibly smart to use her as a pitcher to start the game and to use her as a defensive replacement to end the game. Great selection by the Giants.
The Giants are able to squeeze a good starting pitcher out of the second round, and this is going to be harder and harder as we move forwards. And Brendan Marquardt, going to be a great pickup here for the Giants in the second round. Pick number 28 overall goes to the Marquardt team at this point. Moving on to the next selection, that's going to be pick number 29. That's going to be the Pioneers. And with pick number 29, the Pioneers select Larry Walker. The Pioneers pick up an excellent right field option here in the second round, 29th overall pickup. It's Larry Walker. The left-handed batting, right-handed throwing right fielder is going to be in their right field position for the remainder of the regular season now. He sports a 71 right field ability, 62 on the speed, 75 stealing aggression, 91 steal ability. So expect some base running out of Larry Walker as well. He's got a 93 and 96 sacrifice bunt and bunt for hit ability. So look at that bunt. And of course, he's got the 90 gap power, my apologies, 69 very nice power, 73 eye, and then of course a 72 contact comprised of a 73 BABIP and a 61 avoid K. So very good selection from the Pioneers. This is a staple hitter, can easily put Larry Walker third or fourth in the lineup depending upon what they look at. And might want to check out the splits, though, on Larry Walker down the road, Pioneers. Just a little word of advice about there. Larry Walker goes to the Pioneers here in the second round. They pick up their right fielder, and we shall move on to overall pick number 30. That is going to be the Captains. And with the 30th overall selection, the Captains will be going with Ezekiel Smith.
It is now the bottom of the hour, and this is the BBC Scouting Report of American baseball. This time, a young pitcher, Ezekiel Smith, whose nickname, for reasons currently unknown, is Campy. Mr. Smith, a fine pitcher in every regard, features a blazing fastball, which he throws with great alacrity. Mr. Smith is a very determined pitcher who will pitch for some time. However, he does not pay attention to the gentlemen who get on base. Perhaps a downfall in his game. It remains to be seen whether or not Mr. Smith will ever pay attention to those runners. This has been the BBC Scouting Report of American baseball. We return you to your regularly scheduled program.
Just got back from something I had to do. Is there a list of their previous picks listed online somewhere? Unfortunately, not at the moment, Hero Driver. We will be getting all of the picks put up onto Stats Plus as soon as possible. Unfortunately, the the VOD is going to be your best friend for right now. Ezekiel Smith goes to the Captains with the second round selection, 30th overall pick, their eighth pitcher for the regular season. The Armadillos with pick number 31 are next, and with pick number 31, they will be selecting Gorgo. The Armadillos, with their second round 31st overall pick, go with Gorgo the Gamer, also known as 2005 or 2005 at this point. He's going to be a first baseman and a corner outfielder coming into the upcoming season. 85 power, 73 eye. He's got some pretty decent contact and gap power, both at the very nice and respectable 69 rating on both of those. And then a balanced speed game as well. 64 speed, 83 aggression, 81 ability with a 98 quality base running behind all of that. So Gorgo should be a well-balanced batter, a well-balanced speeder on the base paths, and a good outfielder as well. I am expecting the Gamer to probably be playing left field or first base for the Armadillos, depending on what they get for the remainder of their outfield core. But this is a good selection for a second-round pickup right about here. Well done, Armadillos. Yes, he's a speeder. Yes. He's a good speeder. I don't know what I was saying, okay? You know, he's going to get some tickets. Yeah, just some tickets. To box seats. Yes, tickets to box seats. Gorgo the Gamer goes to the Armadillos with the pick right there. Next up is going to be the Ducks. And with the 32nd overall pick, the Ducks are going to be going with Frank Thomas.
I was a bit surprised that this guy fell into the second round. Frank Thomas is a version of Zonfurst that trades singles and doubles for walks and home runs. A good deal, if you ask me. He can play first in a pinch, but his profile is more as a DH than not. He'll easily start every game for the Ducks, providing a lot of veteran presence and loud home runs.
Thank you to Tess Sawigi for that scouting report on Frank Thomas. Yes, this is going to be a D8 selection for the Ducks here in the second round, 32nd overall pick. The bat was just too good for the Ducks to pass on at this point. Congratulations to our winners, by the way. Our raffle has ended. My Army Tank, Mr. Audit, and Nospace each win 1,666 caps. Congratulations. Frank Thomas, a good pickup here for the Ducks in Season 1. Moving on to the Goats with the 33rd overall selection, and the Goats will be picking up Angela Del Vecchio.
Angela Del Vecchio, or Sugar Pop as she is also known, has quite the pop in her pitching arsenal. She's got great stuff, amazing movement, and will not be giving up many home runs compared to other pitchers like Kurt Schilling. Her 3-pitch arsenal also is very, very specialized and very good. Curveball, changeup, splitter, all above 90s. Her stamina means that she can take the game the whole way as well. 96 to 98 miles an hour, she's got very good speed to match with those pitches. Her overall is considered to be weaker than seasons past. However, Sugar Pop is still an excellent pickup in round 2.
Thank you so much to Qui-Gon Jake for that scouting report on Angela Del Vecchio. A good pickup here for the Goats in the second round, getting, I believe, their ace pitcher for Season 1. Moving on, we're going to start to go a little bit faster here, folks, at this point. The Admirals with the 34th overall selection. And with their round 2 pickup, the Admirals will be selecting Mindy Heath.
Mindy Heath is like the embodiment of all of our Little League dreams. Throws 100 miles an hour. Check. Can play every position. Check. Swings for the fences every time she's at the plate. Check. I love this second round pick by the Admirals.
Thank you so much to DA for this update on Mindy Heath. Scouting report for her. This is going to be an interesting pickup here as well. Definitely could have been a two-way player, but as always, we are not permitting two-way players. They have to pick one or the other, pitcher or hitter at this point. And Mindy Heath has been drafted as a starting pitcher for the Admirals for the upcoming season. Not exactly anything that stands out on the pitching side, although it's really balanced and really quite nice when you have a 70 stuff, 68 movement, 67 control pitcher. It's going to be fun to see exactly how good Mindy Heath does in the regular season. She doesn't have a whole lot of weaknesses. Little League dreams, what ice cream am I going to get after the game, says Dukeston. Moving on to the next selection, that is going to be the Mythics here in round 2. They have the 35th overall selection, and with pick number 35, the Mythics are selecting D. Dempsey. Well, the Mythics took one look at that power and were like, yes, we will take that with our second round, 35th overall pickup. They get D. Dempsey, their first baseman for the future. That 125 power going to be so good for them. They can only hope and pray that the contact at 48 isn't going to be a problem. The gap power 77 and the eye 62 is also a good plus for them as well. That BABIP of 64 does mean the ball's going to get put in play, and when it does, it's going to be almost always going to be a hit because that power and that BABIP is going to result in good things, but that avoid K of 39 is going to be a problem. Not a lot of speed from Dempsey, but that's okay. You're expecting him to hit home runs. I'm expecting to see the switch-hitting, left-handed throwing infielder for the Mythics to be paired up with a contact get-on-base batter. You pair those two together, this would be a great combination. 70 overall first base ability for Dempsey. Good pickup here from the Mythics. This gives them a pure cleanup hitter and someone they can count on to hit home runs for the entirety of the regular season. And it'll be interesting to see just how many home runs D. Dempsey hits over the course of the regular season at this point. But as always, a good pickup here by the Mythics. I like this one as well. Moving on to our next selection, that is going to be the Nobles. With their second round pickup, they picked up the controversial Bradford Smart in the first round. And with the second round selection, this is going to be pick number 36. The Nobles pick up Matessa Sturgis.
With the 36th overall pick in the draft, the Nobles, do we still say Boo Nobles? Are adding a solid starter to the mix in selecting Matessa Sturgis. The fastball is her best pitch, but she's not going to be an overpowering strikeout pitcher. Instead, she's going to minimize balls in play and keep them in the yard. The Nobles need a solid infield behind her to take advantage of her ground ball tendencies, and if they do, this will be a solid rotation piece for the Nobles, taken here with the 36th overall pick.
Not a bad pickup. I think this actually kind of helps alleviate some of the issues they had with the original draft pick of Bradford Smart. And yes, you are right. There actually are 7 pitches, and I don't actually show the quality of the circle change. My apologies. I actually didn't realize there was 7 pitches on Matessa Sturgis, but she is a very good starting pitcher for them at this point, even with only 60 stamina. It will be interesting to see where the Nobles go with their third round selection in about another 24 picks, basically. Moving on to the Warlocks. The Warlocks, with the 37th overall selection, are going to be picking up Billy Douglas. Billy Douglas is a filler character signed here by the Warlocks in the second round, 37th overall pick. He's got a 4-pitch arsenal resulting in a 97 stuff rating. He's got a 73 movement rating, and unfortunately, he's got a 43 control rating. So that control is going to be a problem for Douglas over the course of the regular season. But if this is your ace pitcher, this is acceptable in the second round. 70 on the stamina. He's got a 34 hold runners, throws 93 to 95 miles per hour. He's got a 4-pitch arsenal, circle change, sinker, curveball, and slider. So no generic fastball. Everything's going to be moving. Everything's going to be dipping and diving. The home runs allowed is going to be good at 80. The PBABIP is going to be a little bit weaker, somewhere around the 66, 67 mark. Otherwise, a great selection here by the Warlocks. The right-handed throwing, left-handed batting starting pitcher will be able to help this team out a lot in the upcoming season. Yeah, I don't understand. There are a couple of people. Angela Del Vecchio is another one where the potential is way higher by a good margin than the overall, and I have found nothing that would indicate that that's the case. Angela was actually correctly labeled. I still need to go back in and change Billy Douglas's PBABIP because sometimes OOTP rounds down on PBABIP sometimes. So I actually have to go in and actually do a quick little edit on Billy Douglas. But my imagination is that there's something with the ability of a two-way player that is somehow affecting the character in some way for potential. I have not figured out why that is the case. So I don't know, unfortunately. But Billy Douglas goes to the Warlocks here with the 37th overall selection. A good pickup, good ace pitcher. He's going to be wanting to do a lot of strikeouts this upcoming season. The Ninjas are next on our list to draft. They are in for their second pick of the season. And with the 38th overall selection, the Ninjas will be picking up Jesse Whitney.
For the 38th overall selection, the Ninjas will take Jesse Whitney. This is a very spicy 4-pitch mix. Every single pitch is over the top. Circle change, changeup, sinker, slider, and incredible stuff. The control is lacking. Movement is a little above average. The long ball could be an issue. This is definitely a pitcher that reminds me a bit of Nolan Ryan. Sure, there are going to be a bunch of long balls and free passes, but you're also going to get a ton of whiffs.
Yeah, Jesse Whitney goes in the second round to the Ninjas. This is a very interesting pickup right here. And you guys can see the overall numbers. Jesse Whitney was definitely one of the better pitchers who's kind of been left on this draft for a little bit of time because a lot of teams just did not like that movement and control combination. And he goes all the way here in the second round to the 38th overall pick to the Ninjas in the season draft. Moving on, we're going to be going on to our Rockets pickup at this point. This is going to be pickup number 39. Pick number 39 to the Rockets, and with it, they will be selecting Jamie Ortega.
Jamie, or is it pronounced Jaime Ortega, is a right-handed starting pitcher with blazingly good stuff. His movement is alright, although he will give up more home runs on average than maybe per se an average pitcher would, and his control is a bit lacking. But his 4-pitch arsenal cannot be disputed on how good it is. A 92 slider, an 89 sinker, a 99 splitter, and a 92 circle change. Ortega has the stuff to get stuff done. He's got great stamina as well, and although he's not the greatest at holding runners, Ortega is a very, very solid second-round draft pick.
Ortega goes to the Rockets, or the Rockettes. Yes, the Dukeston has the Rockettes here at this point. Jaime pitching to Jody Weed. I didn't even realize that, but I think you're correct, Rob Deere. I think that actually is the case. Anywho, good pickup here for the Rockets. It's gonna be a stuff-oriented starter. It's gonna be an interesting choice. 2 back-to-back pitchers who are all about getting strikeouts, and that's basically their entire MO is just striking out everybody. The Rockets get their pickup, and that means it's time for the Frogs. The Frogs, with their 40th overall pick here, will be selecting Naomi Murray.
This is the BBC scouting report for American baseball. This time we have a young pitcher, Naomi Murray, whose nickname is Nomi. We will reserve comment on her nickname, which is really trash. Ms. Murray has a blazing arm. She throws everything hard. She features a fine curveball and a wonderful sinker. She throws between 93 and 96 miles an hour. I don't know how fast that is because we use the metric system, as all well and smart people do. Ms. Murray has not shown a tremendous amount of stamina and does not field her position overly well. However, she is a semi-competent hitter. This has been the BBC Scouting Report for American Baseball. We return you to your regularly scheduled program.
Nah, I will allow it, okay? I will allow it. Although I did catch the velocity joke. Not sure I liked that one, unfortunately. Anywho, the British report about Naomi Murray. This is going to be the ace pitcher for the Frogs moving into season 1. Kind of in similar fashion to our last 2 pickups, but a little bit more movement and control and sacrificing a little bit of that stuff to be able to get that. So we'll see how that pans out for these 3 different ball clubs: the Rockets, the Frogs, and the Ninjas, all picking up very similar players for their ace starting pitchers. He slid into Aussie land when he commented on the slider. Yes, exactly. And the Sinka. Yes, yeah, just a little bit. He went a little bit into the Australian side for just a split second there. Well, if it's ABC, but, like upside down, because that would it just be CBA then at that point? The Bears, I believe. No, sorry, Reapers. I am so sorry. 41st overall pickup. The Reapers are going to be the next team to pick up a player here. And with the 41st overall selection, they will be picking up Nancy Chin. The Reapers go with a more balanced starting pitcher for their ace here with Nancy Chin. She has that 92 rated knuckleball ability with a circle change at 53, a changeup at 69, and a slider matching that also at 69. She's got a sinker and a fastball she can spot every now and then, but they're lower rated into the 40s. That has resulted in an 84 stuff rating for Nancy Chin, which is acceptable for an ace pitcher. But what's better, her control of 61 and her movement of 74. She's not going to have major weaknesses, putting people on base for free with that walking ability, and her home runs allowed are her weaker part in her movement, which means her pitch BABIP is actually an 82 rated pitcher BABIP. That's a quality one for your ace pitcher right about here. 84 stamina, 98 home runners. She will go deep into ball games, not allow a lot of stolen bases, and her 91 to 93 mile per hour velocity will pair up nicely with her ground ball oriented pitching style. She also is an amazing fielder at pitcher. She should be a good left-handed ace for the Reapers going into the upcoming season. Nancy Chin goes to the Reapers, so again, you're sacrificing a little bit of that stuff for more into the movement and more into the control, and the Reapers might have stolen one here. I do actually feel like as if this should have gone before the last three pitchers, but regardless, the Nancy Chin pickup here by the Reapers, they will absolutely take Drew, as the nickname is profound, is stated for Nancy at this point, but Nancy goes 41st overall to the Reapers. Moving on to the next pickup in our draft, that's going to be pick number 42. That is going to be the Bears. And with the 42nd overall selection, the Bears will be picking up you down with OBP.
OBP? Yeah, I know him. The Bears taking a catcher after my own preferences, a talented pitch framer with a bit of a noodle arm. He's got some savviness on the base paths too. Might swipe 20 bags in a season with the right coaching. That's not getting into the bat, which is one true outcome, very heavily favored over the others. OBP is either going to be a menace in the leadoff spot for the Bears, or a maddening frustration for them.
Thank you to Tetsuigi for the scouting report on, I'm just going to call him iBot at this point, but yes, a one true outcome player to a bit. A bit is underselling how much of a noodle arm he has. A trademark, Tim, please. Oh no, wait, you're subbed. You don't have to. The only true outcome, the walk. So, down with OBP is going to be drafted here by the Bears in the second round. They will pair him up with Bully McGuire to be able to have the catcher position and center field position settled, and they will be drafting very soon once again here, so this is not a bad situation. Disappointed there's not enough framing, says Kidneys. They only had so much to upgrade with, though, Kidneys, okay? You gotta give them credit where credit's due. They tried. They got the maximum eye. They did their job. They ran out of cap. They couldn't quite get the framing up there, so next season they'll get that around. Missed the whole first round. Did Admin Duck go first? Yes, he did, Hero Driver. Admin Duck did go first. The Bats are next. 43rd overall selection. The Bats are ready to go with their round 2 pickup, and with it, they will pick up Keisha Phillips. This could be quite a steal here for the Bats. They have picked up Keisha Phillips, also known as Flash, here in the second round, the 43rd overall pickup. She is one of the better defending outfielders across our league at this point. Mixes in a good combination of speed, power, BABIP, and elite fielding for an outfield position. She could also technically play third base or shortstop if you fill up your outfield with people who are better, I guess. She's got that really good 85 power, 80 BABIP ability. The stealing aggression's at 90. The stealing ability is at 87. She'll steal bases, put the ball in play, do a great job on the diamond as well as in the field. Her left, center, and right field abilities are all potential Gold Glove styles out there. She's got that 90 range, 75 air, and 90 arm for outfield positions. She's going to be a great pickup, and I hope and pray that this goes well for the Bats, because this could be the start of something big. If they can pair up a couple more people similar to Keisha, this is a great pickup right here in the second round. The Bats grab an actual bat here at this point. Well done. Picking up Keisha Phillips, a good quality outfielder who's got a little bit of pop to her bat as well. This is actually a pretty good pickup. And that'll be the Bats with the 43rd overall selection. 44th is going to be going to the Cluckers. They picked up, of course, Wade Beers back in the first round. And here in the second round, the Cluckers are going to be selecting Omar Stefano.
The Cluckers go for a potential two-way star here in the second round with Omar Stefano. The pitching ability is there, with good strikeout stuff thanks to a deceptive knuckleball splitter combo. Another plus is the versatility, playing everywhere except catcher, especially his ability at second base. The hitting part of playing both ways is still a little bit of a work in progress, but the contact power combo will hopefully serve the Cluckers well.
Thank you so much, DA, for the scouting report on Omar Stefano. They're definitely going to be having Omar as their ace pitcher for the upcoming season, but the defense is something to keep in their back of their minds, just in case they absolutely have to do something. Omar could fill in as potentially a replacement to somebody if they absolutely had to. But Omar, with the 74 stuff, 74 movement, joins the Cluckers as their ace pitcher here in the second round. Moving on to our next pickup, that's going to be the Owls with the 45th overall selection. And with the 45th overall selection, the Owls will be selecting Jeff Bagwell.
Jeff Bagwell, definitely the first pick that I question the order in as a round 2 draft pick. Bagwell doesn't have any real shortcomings, mind you. His contact's a little low, his gap power could be better, and his power is great, and his eye is even better. But as far as first baseman goes, Jeff Bagwell is not the strongest one out there. He does have a good overall rating of 67. He is decent defending on first base, but other than that, Jeff doesn't have a lot of other stuff going for him. The one thing that might be a saving grace is his eye, especially when we are awash with a sea of pitchers with low control.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing with Jeff Bagwell having the 83 eye. I definitely agree with that at this point. I think you did say it every single time, DA. I'm so sorry. Every single person I sent your way was like, oh, wow, this is a good two-way player, potentially. So the Owls pick up Jeff Bagwell, which means it's time for the Trains. And with their second round pickup, the Trains are going to be going 46 overall with Susan Gore.
The Trains, chugga chugga choo choos. Susan Gore with the 46th overall pick of the draft. She's an elite infield defender that can play all over the diamond. But the trick will be figuring out where to maximize her defense. The arm is not elite for third base. The turn double play, though, is. So I have to believe that Gore ends up patrolling second base. The bat profile says she'll be decent at the plate with a little pop tempered by low eye. Either way, the Trains are on the right track, adding Susan Gore here in the infield defense with the 46th overall pick.
Thank you so much, EVC, for the report on Susan Gore. This is a good pickup right about here. Definitely love the infield utility. Could probably also technically be an outfielder if the Trains do not get anybody better. And yes, I believe the Trains are on the right track. Well done, EVC. Well done, good sir. The Trains, with their 46th overall selection, did pick up Susan Gore, which means we are now down to our penultimate selection here in the second round, which means get all of your exclamation mark plays ready, guys. We'll do some marbles after the second round here. Cacti. Let's try it again. The Cacti. With their 47th overall selection, the Cacti will be picking up Sammy Sosa. Well, the Cacti got a really good slugger right here in Sammy Sosa. This is going to be a 98 power right field or potentially center fielder for the Cacti. I am anticipating the Cacti will draft a better center fielder than Sosa, and he will be resorting to play right field. But he's got a 71 right field ability, balanced speed game as well to go along with that 98 power. He's got 83 gap power and 69 on that BABIP. Gonna have some questions about the avoiding Ks, unfortunately, for Sammy Sosa, but for one of the last really more balanced sluggers in the draft, this is a good pickup here by the Cacti here in the second round, 47th overall selection. Sammy Sosa is a Cacti. Not a bad spot here for the Cacti to draft Sammy Sosa. They saw Keisha Phillips go a little bit earlier. This gives you a good corner outfielder of some decent pop at 98 power. I do also agree, Tim Gross, I don't think they're playing her at center field. They've got to draft someone better for center field than Sammy Sosa. Moving on to our final pick in the second round, it's going to be the Whistlers. And with the Whistlers' 48th overall selection here, end of the second round, the Whistlers will be picking up Mikey Thomas.
With the 48th overall selection, The Whistlers will pick Mikey Nugget Thomas. Mikey is a big boy. He is a left-handed power bat, and he has a literal cannon for an arm, with an above-average ability to call games and an average ability to get on base. He's going to be in good shape so long as he's hitting dingers, but he's going to be in bad shape running those bases. Mikey Thomas is a Whistler.
Yes, that was a Whistler, Dukeston. That literally was a Whistler. Yes. Well done, Attica. Thank you so much for the scouting report on Mikey Thomas. I'm surprised Mikey went this far in the draft. Second round, almost third round for Mikey Thomas. The literal cannon cyborg upgrades are allowed. We don't talk about those special upgrades, Rob Deere. Those have to be, you have to be a long-time subscriber to get to the those ones. So talk about that in a couple months, okay? Anywho, that is it for the second round, ladies and gentlemen, which means it is time for more marbles. All right, folks. It is time for round 3. We're moving on to round 3 of the draft. We are now up to 14 subs. 14 subs. Our goal is 20. Our goal is 20. Or at least I believe it's 14. Hold on. Is it more? We are at 15. My apologies. 15 subs. And I think it's actually 16 if you count Brent's $5 donation to the channel. So with 4 more gifted subs or 4 resubs or whatever we want to do at this point, we will go ahead and actually continue on beyond the 4th round, not with the scouting reports, but we will actually reveal the teams, get the
Now
Stats
that's
Plus
what I call
updated.
togetherness.
And I shouldn't have said that. Sir Pug with 5 more gifted subs. Spock21, Lead OOTP, Subliminal Glory, Time of the Season, and Nightcap 49. Thank you so much for the gifted sub, Sir Pug. I do appreciate that. Can we start season 1, week 1 early then? That's actually something we could do, Schnee. That actually is something we could do, and that's what I'm thinking about right now. But we will see about that. We will see about that. Maybe I'll surprise you all in next week is opening day. How about that? But regardless, that means I now have to go through... Oh, good grief, kidneys! 200 more subs and we start last week. Thank you, kidneys, for the 5 gifted subs. Dava 2018, Philly Fanatic, Formula Negative. Or is that... No, yeah, Formula Negative. Thank you so much. Or ITEA, IT Low 55, and Steamrollers. Getting all of the gifted subs from kidneys at that point. Thank you, one and all, for the gifted subs. I do appreciate that. It means a lot to us over here at the BYP. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. I have to get through stuff, guys. While I do appreciate that, and I do want to give you guys time to be able to continue doing stuff, we have a 3rd round to go through, and a 4th round. The Whistlers with their 3rd round selection, the first pick in the 3rd round, will be going with Mark McGuire. Funny how I get both the Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire report cards, but okay, sure. Mark McGuire goes to the Whistlers here. A DH first baseman is going to have 108 on that power. One of our last pure sluggers in the draft at this point. Mark McGuire, again, going to the Whistlers here in the 3rd round, 49th overall pick here. As we begin the 3rd round, Whistlers have made a big splash here with Mark McGuire. And we're going to have to see how the BABIP and the gap power and the lack of speed. He's got some good base running, and we'll see if the Whistlers throw him at first base or if they resort to having Big Mac in the DH position. The right-handed batting, right-handed throwing slugger joins the Whistlers here at the beginning of the 3rd round. And it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what people think about this pickup right here, because the Whistlers just picked up Mikey Thomas. They picked up Mikey Thomas, and he's a slugger. They pick up Mark McGuire. He's a slugger. The Whistlers have gone with a couple of back-to-back home run hitters, and we'll see what that means for their ball club. I think their strategy is let Benjamin Abendut pitch 9 innings, and Big Mac and Mikey will each hit home runs, and that's how you win a ball game. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Unfortunately, Sir Pug, submitting player boosts is finalized. We are no longer accepting boosts for the upcoming season. You would have to do that for the next season at this time. But 34 boosts, that's a lot. You'll definitely be able to get your character into a really good position for next season. The Cacti, with the second pick here in the third round, this is pick number 50, are going to be selecting Amir Khan.
This is the BBC scouting report for American baseball. This time, a second baseman, Amir Khan. Mr. Khan's nickname is Sticks, and unfortunately, instead of a bat, he usually carries a stick. He is what you Americans would call a fine glove, less fine bat sort of player, although he is very attentive to the pitches and does take a walk quite capably. He is an excellent defensive second baseman and a capable base runner, although defensively his arm is somewhat lacking. So, this has been the BBC scouting report of American baseball. We now return you to your regularly scheduled program.
Some controversy here with this pickup. Some people not understanding the pick here. It's all about that eye. Some teams were really big on the eye, and some teams were really big on like defense. And it just goes to show you, Amir Khan going in the third round, 50th overall, to the Cacti, who will now have him as one of their elite hitters, if you want to call him an elite hitter at this point. We move on to the Trains and their third round selection, 51st overall, and it's going to be Choo Choo Magoo.
Here comes the pain train, Choo Choo Magoo, starting pitcher for the Trains. 6 foot 6 inches, 230 pounds. This is a locomotive if I've ever seen one. He's got very good stuff at a 69, which is nice. He's got okay movement. He's got good control, especially given the amount of pitchers in this league who don't have good control. His 4-pitch arsenal consists of a very good fastball, slider, curveball, and sinker. His stamina is only a 67, so he won't be able to go into the late game, but he does have a very good hold runners. And with a velocity that hits up to 97 miles per hour, this train is racing down the track.
Choo Choo Magoo goes to the Trains. This is actually a assigned player, and it worked out perfectly. We actually had him figured out exactly what round Choo Choo Magoo was going to be drafted. We knew that it was the third round, so the Trains are technically forced to draft Choo Choo Magoo here in the third round, as he was actually assigned to the Trains by his creator, Captain Kegleg, to join the Trains. So, Choo Choo Magoo is going to be a starting pitcher for the Trains in Season 1, and a good pickup. It still is a good fit at this point, and thank you so much, Qui-Gon Jake, for the scouting report on Choo Choo Magoo. The Owls, with their 52nd overall pickup, will be going with Barbara Jones.
Barbara Jones is one of the slickest fielders I've seen out of Texas since they fixed that oil leak in the training diamond. She can handle any defensive position except catcher, but you'll find her best value at second base or shortstop. Sure hands and exceptional range. That speed helps her on the base paths too. She will regularly go first to third or score from first on a double, and likely will get around 30 steals a season. The one knock against her is the middling eye tool, but the Owls didn't draft her for taking walks. They want someone who can steal a baseball game.
Thank you so much, Tessowigi, for your scouting report on Barbara Jones. This is an interesting pickup here as well. Not going to have a terribly good bat. The avoid K is not bad, but oh my gosh, look at the defense. She can play pretty much anywhere you want her to play. They don't have her set up as a catcher. She declined catching over the course of her career, so she is not a catcher, but she can absolutely play shortstop like the best of them. And this is going to be a fun pickup for the Owls. This gives them the versatility to be able to grab somebody else who's not as good of an infielder, but maybe is a better hitter down the road. So we'll have to see how this goes, but Barbara Jones joins the Owls for season 1. Moving on to the next pickup, that's going to be the Cluckers. And with their 53rd overall selection, the Cluckers in the 3rd round will be selecting Chipper Jones. Gosh, I'm getting all the pro players now. Chipper Jones goes to the Cluckers here in the 3rd round, 53rd overall selection. Chipper Jones is going to be interesting. We'll have to see if the Cluckers put him in 3rd base position or left field position, or if they are forced to throw him at DH. He's an excellent bat, though, at this point. 75 on that contact, 52 on the gap power, 71 power, and 73 eye. This is definitely one of the most pure, balanced hitters left in the draft that can go this early in the 3rd round. He's got some balanced speed, aggression, ability, and base running to go along with all of that. But the question, again, is just going to be, do the Cluckers play him at 3rd base when you've got Wade Beers, or does he have to go to left field? Does he go to DH? What do you do now? But again, combination of Wade Beers and Chipper Jones, oh, so good. Yeah, the bat from Jones is going to be a great addition to this team. You have Beers and Jones now as your number 3 and 4 batters, and that's a pretty elite middle of the lineup at this point. Yes, Larry, as he is referred to as by all of his, not haters, but all of the rivals of the Jones family, unfortunately. It's going to be interesting because, again, he probably has to become your DH, but he's definitely one of the best batters who have good hitting ability left in the system at this point. So this is definitely a good pickup here for the Cluckers. It just depends on whether or not they've put themselves into a little bit of a problem with the poor defense. Moving on to the Bats. They are going to be our next pickup here in the 3rd round. And the Bats, with the 54th overall selection, are going to be picking up Roland McPoley.
Roland McPoley has one of the better nicknames in the league. And who doesn't like saying Roly McPoley? Any other year, he probably doesn't fall this far into the 3rd round, but catcher is a deep position this season. He really excels in all 3 facets of catching. Limits pass balls, he frames pitches well, and has a good enough arm to throw out would-be base stealers. Despite being a bit of a defense-first catcher, he's still a reliable source of doubles and home runs. Like I said, Roly McPoley falling to the 3rd round probably doesn't happen every year. But this year, I think the Bats got some great value here with Roly McPoley.
Great pickup here for the Bats. I actually have to agree. Thank you, DA, for the scouting report on McPoley. Great name. Congratulations, Dukeston. You are officially a Bat for the upcoming season. And this is a good pickup. Good defensive ability at catcher. Some decent hitting profile. This is not bad at all. This is going to be pretty good for the upcoming season. The Bats get their pickup, and that brings us down to the Bears. The Bears had the catcher pickup of OBP back in the 2nd round, and with the 3rd round selection, they will be picking up Lefty Cheese. The Bears took one look at a nickname like Mark, who has a 99 knuckleball, and were like, you're ours. 3rd round, 55th selection overall goes to Lefty Cheese, joining the Bears as their ace pitcher for season 1. This is an 87 stuff, 50 movement, 62 control pitcher, so it balances out that movement ability, the control ability with the pitcher BABIP movement ability and the stuff. Home runs allowed, going to be a problem for Lefty Cheese, plus technically only 2 quality pitches. That's the changeup and the knuckleball, but that knuckleball will make up for it, counting as 2 pitches. The cutter is the number 3 pitch at 43 overall, but it's really not going to do much at this point. 104 stamina, 69 hold runners, 85 to 87 miles per hour on the velocity. The Submariner throwing left-handed as well. It's going to be an interesting season to see exactly how good or how bad Lefty Cheese is going to be on the Bears as he joins them here in the 3rd round. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what people think about the 3rd round. We're going to start to get into some weirder picks here as the AI kind of was getting a little bit all over the place, unfortunately. I cannot show Lefty Cheese's splits as we see it on the screen right now. Remind me, Warbot, when we get into our review of Stats Plus, I will show you all the full details of people like Lefty Cheese at that time. But he does have some splits, unfortunately. Is this the weakest ace pitcher so far? Yes, so far, Hero Driver, so far. And Captain Kegleg is here. You have missed 2 marbles races. We are into the 3rd round of the draft. We just had Choo Choo Magoo drafted by the Trains.
Oh man, are you a
as
sucker.
expected. Captain Kegleg, thank you so much for the resub. 7 months from Captain Kegleg. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alrighty, moving on from Lefty Cheese, who got drafted by the Bears here in the 3rd round. We move on to the Reapers. And with the 3rd round pick, the Reapers will be selecting Hitty Ball.
It's EVC, and I love this pick of Kitty Ball with the 56th pick in the draft by the Reapers because, you know, kitty, oh, ready to kitty. Oh, wait. Oh, it's Hitty. It's Hitty Ball. Still, love this pick. Elite outfield defense wherever you want to place him with amazing range, making him a natural center fielder for the squad. I also personally love the strong BABIP power eye combo in the hitting profile. The Reapers are definitely going to reap the benefits of selecting Hitty Ball here with the 56th overall pick.
I see the vacation is going well, EVC. I think the vacation is going very, very well. Regardless, Hitty Ball goes to the Reapers here in the 3rd round, 56 overall selection. And this is an excellent pickup right here. Some decent power, eye, BABIP, and some very good outfield ability to play the outfield. This should be a very good center fielder for the Reapers moving into the upcoming season. Moving on to our next selection. The Reapers are done. It's time for the Frogs. And the Frogs, if their 3rd round selection, are going to be picking up Cinnamon Roll.
Cinnamon Roll, or Sweet Stuff, is a short 5'6" footer, switch hitting infielder. Got great defense at second base, but can also play short and third, which is a good ability to have in this league. Overall, he's a 68. A lot of that is down to his good contact and his great power. Not got great gap power and has a decent eye. He's got good speed, and although not aggressive, his stealing ability is pretty decent as well. His infield range is good, as is his error. Roll will be letting very few balls roll past him, pun intended. Overall, Cinnamon Roll, very solid 3rd round draft pick.
Thank you, Qui-Gon Jake, for the scouting report on Cinnamon Roll. There was reports earlier on in the week that Cinnamon Roll was dropping down the list of draft picks because people were concerned a little bit about the weight he had put on in the offseason. And if you look at that picture, I think they're right. Cinnamon Roll goes to the Frogs, and that brings us up to the Rockets, or the Rockettes. Pick number 58, this is round 3, and with it, the Rockets will be selecting Andrew Page.
For the 58th selection, the Rockets will select Andrew Tired Page. Marked as a center fielder, he would serve better in the corner outfield positions, specifically left field. Although he does not excel in any one thing, he does everything well. Although a Swiss Army knife is not the best tool to cut down a tree, Andrew Page may not dazzle you, but he can get on base. This seems like a very good pick for the Rockets.
Yeah, not bad at all. I think this is a pretty good pick here by the Rockets, 58th overall. They pick up a, corner outfielder here with Andrew Page. Not bad at all. Moving on to the Ninjas and their 3rd round selection. And with their 3rd round pickup, the Ninjas will be selecting Raquel Cullen. The Ninjas here in the 3rd round have picked up Raquel Cullen, a very good utility player. She'll be looking at either potentially playing third base, shortstop, might be playing corner outfield, can play second and first like the best of them. It's going to be interesting to see what the Ninjas decide to do with Raquel here. But besides the balanced utility defense ability, she also has some pretty decent stealing ability, as well as some really good eye, avoid K, and BABIP, which will make her a pretty solid bat at the plate as well. This is a pick up though that sets up the Ninjas to pick some better batting, less defensive oriented players at other positions, and it gives them an out to be able to say that they forgot a shortstop pick, Colin can go play shortstop. They forgot a third base pick. Colin can go play third base. So a great selection here, giving them some utility and versatility in the outfield, in the infield. Colin will be a good pickup here in the third round for the Ninjas. Yeah, I do believe the vampire's family name in the glittery vampire movies was in fact the Cullens, I believe. I think it was that at least. The Ninjas pick up Raquel here with the 59th overall selection. I actually don't remember who the Ninjas got in round 2. Let's see. Round 1 was... Oh, gosh. Hold on. I should know who got picked in round 2, but I'm blanking now, unfortunately. I'll have to find it out later. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Hero Driver. I'll figure it out later. The Warlocks are the next pick here in the third round. 60th overall selection. Dean Danger, I heard, for round 1. Yeah, I do believe Dean Danger went round 1, which is actually really good they picked up Colin here, because now they can let Dean Danger go play third base without having any problems at shortstop. The Warlocks, the 60th overall pickup, are going to go with Estevan Viral.
This is the BBC scouting report for American baseball. A center fielder drafted by the Warlocks, Estevan Viral, is a capable, power-hitting center fielder with very good speed. He runs the bases like the Dickens. Alas, his contact is somewhat lacking, and as a defensive center fielder, he's a very good left fielder. The less said about his center field work, the better. Mr. Viral has no nickname, and thus we must deduct points from his final record. This has been the BBC scouting report of American baseball. We now return you to your regularly scheduled program.
Good grief. Gotta love the subtracted points from the no nickname on Viral, unfortunately. And we have gotten another outfielder out of our systems at this point. No nickname. Is he even allowed on the field? I don't know. We'll have to figure out a nickname for him real fast at this point. But Estevan joins the Warlocks for Season 1. Moving on, we have the Nobles. I'll let you all have a chance to be able to get your boos in the channel at this point for the Nobles as we get just a little bit up to the 2.5 hour mark for our stream. We're doing okay. We're doing okay on time. But regardless, the Nobles, with their third round 61st overall selection, are going to be picking up Marcellus Marks. Similar to Raquel Colin and the Ninjas pickup, the Nobles have selected Marcellus Marks with their third round pickup, 61st overall selection here. The utility player will bring similar situations that Colin was able to do, can play first, second, third, short, left, and also center and right this time around. So an interesting situation here where Marks goes later than Colin, but might be some of the offensive situations. We don't know about that. The Nobles find more value here in the selected second baseman, Marcellus Marks. We'll see where he ends up playing by the end, by the beginning of the regular season. He's got that 73 contact, 69 gap power, 54 power, and only a 49 eye. So not going to be getting on base via the walk that often. Stealing ability at 97 to match along with a stealing aggression of 82. This is a good pickup by the Nobles. That infield arm, though, gonna limit him at third base a little bit more than the Nobles might be wanting to, but we'll see what they pick up for the rest of the draft and what exactly they do with Marks once they get to opening day. Yep, good utility pickup here for the Nobles in the third round, 61st overall selection. Marcellus Marks goes to the Nobles. The Mythics and pick number 62 are next on our list. This is round 3, and with it, they'll be picking up Gale Brewer.
Gale Brewer is a bat-first middle infielder, if that makes any sense. He's a pesky out at the plate and will punish mistakes made by opposing pitchers. He's decent on the base pass, too. Could easily be a 20-20 or 25-25 guy with protection in the lineup. Defensively, he's in that weird middle ground where he's too good for third and not good enough for second or short. Maybe his ceiling is super utility guy in DH. That's the Mystics' problem to figure out, not mine.
Yeah, we're just doing the scouting reports. Thank you so much, Test Wiki, for the scouting report on Brewer. This is going to be an interesting utility player for the Mythics going into the upcoming season. We'll have to see what they do with Gale. Moving on to the Admirals. We're halfway into the third round now officially, folks. We're getting there. The Admirals have picked number 63 are going to be picking up Vladimir Guerrero.
Vladimir Guerrero, or Vlad, actually hails from the Dominican Republic, and here he is in the Backyard Projects. He's got a very good contact and very good avoid Ks. Doesn't have a great eye, but he does have great gap power and really good power. He's got amazing speed, stealing aggressiveness, and ability. He's one of those guys that if you let him get on first base and you don't keep an eye on him, he'll be at second before you know it. And if you're really non-observant, he'll be at third before you've even thrown their next pitch. Doesn't have the greatest range, and right field really is his only playing position. Nevertheless, Vladimir Guerrero is a very solid 4th-round draft pick.
Generally it's 3rd round, but yes, 3rd round pickup here for the Admirals. Vlad Guerrero, good pickup, and definitely going to be a quality bat for the Admirals as they move forward into the rest of these 4 rounds that we're going to be covering live on the stream. A few people have said, hello, I'm something punk, but no one said, hello, I'm DishNet34. I don't know if anyone went that far to actually say, hello, I'm DishNet34. I think the farthest we got was a couple people would actually say what their name was, and that was just it, unfortunately. So no one's quite hit that mark, unfortunately. The Goats are the next pickup here in the 3rd round, pick number 64, and with it, the Goats will be selecting Chico Pappas.
Chico Pappas seems like a really solid selection here for the Goats in the 3rd round. Doesn't strike out too often, has the ability to put the ball into the gap and draw walks, has the speed to turn his doubles into triples and steal bases when he's on first. His one limitation is his absolute noodle for an arm. Despite having the ability to play other positions, he's probably best served sticking with just first base and maybe left field.
Thank you to DA for that noodle report. Regardless, this is a good pickup here by the, I want to know if any players have Toaster Strudel as a nickname. Oh my gosh, Nos, that'd be a great nickname. I don't think we do. I think Toast might be the closest we have. I don't even know if we have a Toast nickname or not, but regardless, Pop-Tart goes to the Goats. Good pickup here for them in the 3rd round. Moving on, we have the Ducks. And with their 3rd round selection, the Ducks, I don't think the Ducks have a starting pitcher yet. With the 65th overall selection, they will be picking up Jose Escobar. Well, the Ducks waited long enough to get their starting pitcher. They have selected it here in the 3rd round of the Season 1 draft. 65th overall selection is Jose Escobar, also known as Bulldog. He will go to the Ducks as their ace pitcher. He's got 61 stuff, 62 movement, and 73 control. So a control-oriented ace isn't too bad, but the 40 stamina is going to be a little bit of a weaker stamina than the Ducks were hoping to get out of him. They'll have to have a good quality bullpen to be able to pick up the slack when he gets tired, and that 3 hold runners rating is going to mean that if anybody gets on base, they're going to steal bases. So the Ducks are going to need to look into a good catcher at this point, basically, and a good bullpen. So some weaknesses that he brings are going to become problematic. Otherwise, though, very balanced build here for Jose Escobar. The stuff is comprised of a fastball slider cutter combination. He throws 94 to 96, and he's a right-handed throwing ace pitcher for the Ducks here as I select him 65th overall in the 3rd round. And you're right, your kidneys. It's not Bubbles. Bubbles, Sugar Sox, still on the pool to be able to get drafted for Season 1. We'll have to see how long it goes until Bubbles, Sugar Sox is drafted. The Ducks get a starting pitcher, and that brings us around to the Armadillos. Pick number 66 for the Armadillos here. They get their round 3 selection, and they will pick up Bubbles, Sugar Sox.
The Armadillos come out of their shell here with the 66th overall pick, grabbing a sweet starter in Bubbles, Sugar Sox, to add to their rotation. 3 solid pitches with a 100 slider, 91 sinker, and 87 curve will help him get the Ks. Though walks may be an issue, the big question is, will the Armadillos invest well in their bullpen to cover the 57 stamina here from one of their starters? Will the bubbles pop? Hold on to your sugar socks, Armadillo fans, as the draft is not over yet.
Bubbles Sugar Sox gets drafted by the Armadillos of all teams. Thank you, EVC, for the scouting report. I call foul. How can he not be on the Mythics of that nickname? I unfortunately agree. He was the captain of the Mythics last year, but the Mythics chose not to draft him this year, and he falls to the Armadillos here in the 3rd round. He will be, I believe, the Armadillos' ace pitcher, I believe, though. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, Mythics, a couple picks before, and they already had a pitcher, and they didn't want a second one. So we'll have to see how that pans out. The Mythics electing to go with a batter here in the 3rd round instead. The Captains are the next selection here, round 3, pick number 67, and the Captains will be selecting Nell Hebert. The Captains here in the 3rd round have selected Nell Hebert. This is going to be a utility balanced batter with a little bit of additional power. That's 78 power is going to be pretty good. A little bit of additional stealing ability as well. 71, 78 for the aggression and the ability. This should be a great pickup here. Easily able to play almost any of the infield positions. It's debatable about that shortstop ability, but could also play corner outfielder for the Captains. This is a good pickup for a middle to late 3rd round selection here. Nell Hebert should be an excellent switch hitting, by the way, utility player. That 59 contact, 59 gap power, and 65 eye. Not a whole lot of weaknesses here. Only thing yellow, as you can see on the screen, is literally the center field ability. So this is a good, solid pickup here for the Captains. Yeah, not a whole lot of weaknesses here for Hebert, and he brings to the Captains a very solid bat, very solid defense. We'll have to see if the Captains enjoy his time on the team. The Pioneers are next here as we get close to the end of the 3rd round, pick number 68, and the Pioneers pick up Peter Levine.
For the 68th selection in the draft, the Pioneers do select Peter Levine. This is an above-average left-handed starting pitcher. Peter does carry a 6-pitch mix consisting of a fastball, cutter, sinker, curveball, changeup, and slider. Only the fastball and cutter are above-average pitches. I am trying to guess what this pitcher's strategy is going to be, whether it's going to be pitch to contact or overwhelm the batter with so many different types of pitches that they're eventually going to strike out. Regardless, the Pioneers do not have to waste any more bullets hunting for another pitcher, and I predict the next selection will be nice.
Of course you had to make the 69th overall selection joke, didn't you, Attica? Good grief, Attica. Great report there from Peter Levine at this point. The Pioneers get a good starting pitcher out of this selection. 68th overall. 69th is going to be the Giants' pick. And with the 69th overall selection, the Giants will be picking up Sal Cordoba.
Sal Cordoba. Definitely meant to be a speed demon, as he's got great speed, amazing stealing aggressiveness, and stealing ability. His base running and gap power are a very good combination that allows him to turn base hits into doubles or even triples. And if he can't get there to third base with his bat, he can definitely get there with his legs and his stealing ability. His contact, power, eye, and avoid K are alright. Definitely what you would expect from a 3rd round draft pick. He's a very good left fielder, although because he's also got skills in center and right, that is most likely where he will end up playing. Overall, Sal Cordoba is a very solid 3rd round draft pick.
I would say this is a nice pick. And I think that's all we have to say. Sal Cordoba goes to the Giants. That'll bring up the Coyotes, our final 3 selections for the 3rd round. And with the 70th overall pick, the Coyotes will be picking up Barry Bonds.
Hello, this is Christopher Walken, and I have been hired to read this scouting report for Barry Bonds. Mr. Bonds is a center fielder for the Coyotes, or Coyotes, as some people say. Bonds has gap power, very impressive. He puts the bat on the ball well, and he runs. Oh, does he run. He plays a great left field, and he's got a very good arm. I think the Coyotes are going to be very happy with this guy, as long as he doesn't get a big head.
Oh, does he run? Oh, that's great, Ezra. Well done. Well done. Good grief. Christopher Walken coming through with the scouting report on Barry Bonds. The elite speed demon will be joining the Coyotes to be in their outfield. No cowbell. Is it so cool that Dean Danger has twice the power or more than Barry Bonds? Well, we picked a version of Barry Bonds that was not technically 2001. We wanted younger Barry Bonds. So we went with the speed demon left field version of Barry Bonds, and that was our approach for the season. Otherwise, Barry Bonds would have been the #1 overall pick because it would have been like maxed out power, maxed out eye, and there's no way we would have been okay with the modern version of Barry Bonds. Yeah, it might be more like an early 1990s Barry Bonds, basically. Very, very young Barry Bonds at this point. So Bonds joins the Coyotes as a left fielder or potentially center fielder, depending upon how they draft their outfield. Moving on to our final 2 picks in the 3rd round, our final 2 selections. The Kings, with the 71st overall selection, will be going with Greasy Utley. Greasy Utley goes to the Kings here. 3rd round, 71st overall pick. This is going to be a DH selection here, so it's a big, bold move from the Kings. Fa, or PHA as he is known as, Greasy will be going to the Kings. He's got that 73 contact, 77 BABIP, 57 avoid K, so a little bit more oriented towards that BABIP than the avoid K. 90 on the gap power with a 63 power, 73 I, and he's got no speed what to speak of and little to no defense. So this is, again, completely a DH selection here for the Kings, but this is probably one of the best bats left in the draft. This is a good pickup, and as long as they can get all the defensive people they need, this is a solid pickup here in the 71st overall selection for the Kings. It's Greasy Utley. Yeah, it just depends on whether or not the Kings can get the rest of that defense all done, but Utley gives them a quality bat to be able to help with their offense. Moving on to our final pickup of the 3rd round. So all of you can get your exclamation mark plays ready once more. Jake, if you want to run another raffle really fast, we are due for another raffle, and we'll be getting our final selection of the day, or sorry, not final selection of the round underway here. And the Queens, with pick number 72, are going to be next. The Queens pick Sean Green.
Sean Green. Yeah, I remember seeing him play for the Israel team in the Premier 12. Talented outfielder. Balanced bat, some pop in there, and a bit of savviness to steal, too. The one knock against him is that he's meh defensively. He won't embarrass you in the outfielder at first, but he's not going to make some plays that other players do. It looks like it takes effort, I mean. The Queens did well getting him in the 3rd round. He'll be a strong contributor.
Thank you so much for the report there, Tessawigi, for the scouting report on Sean Green. A pretty good, solid right fielder. Might also be potentially a first baseman. I doubt that we'll have to resort to the Queens having a 50 overall rated first baseman, unfortunately. But definitely looking at being him in right field. The Queens have a good selection here to finalize our 3rd round. So congratulations to everyone. We've gotten through 3 of our 4 rounds of drafting, which means 24 more selections to go for our first day of drafting. We're going to be announcing all the rest of them right afterwards. We're going to be spending a little bit of time talking about all of the different teams, and then as soon as OTP goes live, we will send you all over to them. So let's continue with the 4th round. First selection, it's going to be the Queens. Number 73 on the pickup number, 73rd overall selection for the Queens. It's going to be... Oops, if I can get on the right one here. There we go. It's going to be Ivan Rodriguez. Pudge will make his way to the Queens here in the 4th round, 73rd overall pickup. This is a excellent catcher position pickup right here for the Queens. He's got that really good catcher arm, decent catcher framing, decent catcher blocking to go along with some decent bat across the boards. That eye's going to be a bit of a problem, only 38, but the 70 power, 58 gap power, 71 avoid K, and 67 BABIP, resulting in that 73 contact ability, is going to make him a quality hitter, especially here in the 4th round. This is a solid pickup. He also has some sneaky speed if you wanted him to try to steal a few bases over the course of the regular season. The catching prospect here for the Queens, drafted 4th round, 73rd overall. Good pickup here for the Queens. They get a good catcher in Ivan Rodriguez, also referred to as Pudge. So every single character AW, every single character gets drafted. We only have the perfect number of players for our league. So Butts Carlton did in fact get drafted. I don't recall if it was before the 4th round or 5th round. Okay, Butts Carlton got drafted 5th round, 116th overall. We will not cover him live on the stream of a report. We will talk about him once we get past the 4th round and we review every single team. So we will talk about Butts Carlton in a little bit of time. Moving on from the Queens, we have the Kings, and with their 4th round selection, they will be picking up Alex Rodriguez.
It's not too often that you see a speed merchant that also has a reliable bat. But the Kings really found themselves one here in the 4th round with Alex Rodriguez. Makes solid contact, puts the ball into the gaps where his speed really helps him stretch those doubles into triples. On top of that, he's very efficient as a base stealer with an exceptional stealing ability. And then, because that's not enough, he's also reliable on the left side of the infield at both third base and shortstop.
Thank you, DA, for the report on Alex Rodriguez. A-Rod will join the Kings in the 4th round. He will be their third baseman or shortstop, depending upon what they select in the following rounds following this one. Moving on to our next pickup, that's going to be the Coyotes. And with the Coyotes' 75th overall pick, they will be selecting Dazen Guile.
Dazen Guile, or Color Prince, is a switch hitter who stands at only 5'4". However, Guile has a very good trick up his sleeve, and that is his contact. He's got a 103 BABIP and a 70 avoid Ks, which is great for an outfielder. His gap power and eye are not the strongest of his suites. However, he is fast and he steals very frequently and very successfully. Playing in left field at a 91, Guile will most likely find himself playing in center or right field, however. His lack of an arm may very well be a detriment. Nevertheless, for a 4th round draft pick, Dazen Guile is a very good choice.
Yeah, not bad at all. You like to see the really good batting ability with the good defense here in the 4th round. The Coyotes make a good splash there with Guile. The Giants and their final selection we'll cover live on the channel today. Their 76th overall pickup is going to be Annie Frazier.
Here in round 4, the Giants used the 76th overall pick to grab a catcher, one of the original backyard baseball kids, and Annie Frazier. While not one of the elite backstops in this year of the catcher, her framing is only 62 rating compared to some of the other catchers taken so far in the draft. The bat will be the big asset here for the Giants. Not a huge power bat, but the BABIP is really strong with a solid 94 rating. Time will tell if the Giants pitching staff can weather this giant addition behind that tape.
Yeah, Annie Frazier goes to the Giants. Now, we have also been told by the Giants that they are actually not expecting to have Annie Frazier play catcher. So they drafted her, and they will be thinking about having her play catcher if they cannot find someone better, but they do believe they will be able to. They are expecting to throw Annie Frazier in right or left field. That was what we were told by the Giants when they made this selection. Moving on to the Pioneers, and their 77th overall pickup is going to be Celia Nelson. Celia Nelson is drafted in the Pioneers' 4th round, 77th pickup here. She brings 73 contact, 84 eye, a 50 power, and only a 41 gap power. So not built for speed, not built for power, but Celia is going to be a utility infielder for the Pioneers in the upcoming season. She's got that 65 shortstop ability, 75 third base ability, and an 80 second base ability to go along with her 107 first base ability defensively. She also has some decent base running and stealing ability. So this is a good pickup here. She's not going to strike out. She's going to get on base of her walks. She might steal a few bases. And in all honesty, that's all you'd love to see from a utility player who is expected to be either playing third base or probably second base in the upcoming season. Good pickup here by the Pioneers. Yeah, Nelson's going to be an infielder option for the Pioneers in the upcoming season. We'll see how this goes for them and what exactly they do with the positional playing for the defense. Moving on to the next team, that's going to be the Captains. And with the 78th overall pickup, the Captains have drafted Alex Murray.
Hi, I'm Attica Online. Alex Murray is a catcher with a left-handed bat and right-handed arm. His speed is otherworldly, also has an amazing bunt to complement it. His catcher ability is above average. He also has the ability to play the outfield, which is unique for a catcher. His bat is considered average at best. Obviously, when looking at this player, he is considered a defensive first option. This looks to be a very good selection for the Captains at pick number 78.
Yeah, thank you so much for that report, Attica. This is actually another interesting one. Another person that a team has drafted. The Captains have already told us that with their requirements of drafting Captain Kegleg, they will not be having Alex Murray play catcher. They will have Alex Murray play center field for the upcoming season. So Alex Murray, AZ Axel, yours truly, is actually going to be getting put into the outfield instead of to the catcher's position. So that makes room for Captain Kegleg to be able to actually play catcher with the Captains. Moving on to our next pickup, the Armadillos. Yes, AZ Axel and Captain Kegleg will be on the same team, like soulmates, exactly. Oh, good grief. Who did that last background? Are you talking about the last scouting report, Dukeston? That was Attica Online. So thank you again, Attica, for that. The one time somebody actually did the, hi, my name is something and something. Like, finally, somebody did it. Oh, good grief. Anyways, the Armadillos are the next selection. 79th overall pickup here by the Armadillos. And their pickup is Jocinda Smith. MVP goes to the Armadillos. A solid pickup here for the Armadillos in the 4th round. 79th overall pickup goes to Jocinda Smith. The right-handed batting, right-handed throwing utility player is a defensive-oriented first character with high contact and good baseball wisdom. She's going to be great at first base, second base, third base, shortstop, left field, and potentially even right field. She is going to give the Armadillos so many more options as we move into the later stages of this draft. And with that 79 contact and the 80 base running, she'll get on base every now and then. She may even get some walks in there. She'll be smart on the base paths, and she's going to be a solid defender. This is a good pickup here by the Armadillos. Yeah, pretty solid here. You love to see all of the infield light blue qualities that Jocinda Smith brings in at this point, and that's going to be a good pickup for the Armadillos. MVP goes in the 4th round. That'll bring up the Ducks. And with the 80th overall selection, the Ducks will be picking up Kenny Kawaguchi.
Hello, this is Christopher Walken again. I'm reading another scouting report, this time for Kenny Kawaguchi, or as I like to call him, the K-Man. K-Man is a starting pitcher for the Ducks. He's a very good pitcher. Doesn't allow a lot of hits. He's got fine pitches, changeup being one of the best. He can throw forever, and he pays very good attention to the runners on base. And much like me, K-Man goes both ways. He's a great pitcher, but he's also a very good second baseman. He can even catch in a pinch. He's a two-way player. He can bat a little bit, but he plays very good defense in the field. So the Ducks are very lucky. They're lucky ducks, you could say, to have K-Man.
Oh, good grief. Kenny Kawaguchi goes to the Ducks. Yes, for clarity, he's technically not going to be able to two-way. We don't allow that in the season. I guess I didn't mention that to our scouting report people. My apologies to Christopher Walken here for not that clarity, unfortunately. But he did at least introduce himself the way I wanted him to. Exactly, music lessons, exactly. And we definitely need more Duck Bell at this point. Much like the 1950s, going both ways is not allowed. Oh, that's great, DA. Oh my gosh. All right. Anywho, Kenny Kawaguchi, a good pickup here for the Ducks. Just like Christopher Walken goes both ways in baseball. Yeah. All righty. Kenny Kawaguchi goes to the Ducks here in the 4th round. A good pickup by them. I believe that's their number 2 pitcher at this point. The Goats, with their 81st overall selection, their final pick that we'll review today, live on stream of our reports here. It's going to be Tony Gwynn.
Tony Gwynn, or Mr. Padre as he was known, has great contact, excellent avoid Ks, good gap power, regular power, and eye. He is going to make knucklepaw pitchers frustrated. With not striking out often and with a decent eye, he's going to give them a run for their monies. He really only plays, though, in right field with a defense of 63. He doesn't play center very well at a 34. He doesn't have good speed or aggressiveness, but when he does steal, he usually is successful. He's one of the few players who also can successfully pull off a good bunt and turn bases into doubles with his base running skills. Tony Gwynn is a great addition to any lineup.
Yeah, the Goats get another GOAT at this point. So the Goats have kind of had a bit of a theme. They've picked up Ken Griffey Jr., Tony Gwynn. They definitely have had an entire focus point on exactly who they were going for, and they've picked up a couple of really good bats that are a little bit niche in regards to some of the aspects that they're really good at. But Tony Gwynn, a good pickup here for the Goats. Mr. Padre joins the Goats in the 4th round. The Admirals are going to be up next, and their 4th round selection is going to be Cal Ripken Jr.
Wait, Cal Ripken Jr.? He's still playing? Geez, that's an interesting choice by the Admirals. Cal's value is threefold. His legs still work, he's impossible to strike out, and he can still provide Gold Glove defense, just at third base, not shortstop. If he's backed up by a strong defender, it's a great call. If he's expected to start all 162, all 9 innings, I have my concerns.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see what the Admirals do for their shortstop position. Yeah, my apologies about the throat right there. It will be interesting to see if they actually do get a better shortstop down the road. But for now, Cal Ripken is going to be at least slotted in as their shortstop for the moment, as he has that 69 very nice shortstop ability with a decent bat profile as well. Thank you, Tess Suigi, for the scouting report on Cal. Moving on, we have the Mythics. Pick number 83, the Mythics in their 4th round selection will be going for Pete Wheeler. We were aware of the rumors that Pete Wheeler had had some issues with his training over the offseason, and unfortunately has dropped him all the way down to the 4th round. 83rd overall selection goes to the Mythics. That is, of course, Pete Wheeler, the extremely good center field ability, center, left, right, whatever you want him in the outfield. He'll be a great outfielder in the upcoming season, but his BABIP is going to be his strongest suit on the hitting side. He's got a 73 BABIP, 90 gap power, a little bit of power at 65, but the stealing aggression has been dropped. The new rating for 25 here, it's only a 53 stealing aggression to go along with that 100 stealing ability. So Pete, when he's sharp and focused, he will be an excellent contributor to the Mythics, but if he ever starts to get a little bit lazy, it's going to be a rough season for him. We'll see what he can do with that really good BABIP, the really good gap power. Let's see how many doubles and triples Pete Wheeler can have in the upcoming season. Not a bad pickup here for the Mythics, but only time will tell just how good or bad this is. Yeah, now that I'm reviewing all of this is a pretty good pickup. I think that you really can't go wrong with this pickup right about here. He's going to be living on singles and doubles and triples all year long, and if he doesn't get a double or triple, he's going to basically just end up stealing it. But the Mythics are definitely going to enjoy his defense-first caliber playing style with them having him play center field. So Pete Wheeler goes to the Mythics in the 4th round. The Nobles are next. Their final pickup. Oh, and I just remembered who they picked up. Chat, you're going to be. I'm not sure. Let's just figure out. Let's see what you guys think about this pickup. With the 4th round selection, the Nobles will be selecting Amanda Hellerman.
The Nobles said before the draft that they wanted to emphasize a strong bullpen this season. They've done exactly that, making Amanda Hellbringer Hellerman the first reliever off the board in this draft. Expectations will be high, but Hellbringer really lives up to her nickname, with 100 plus mile an hour velo on the fastball, a devastating curveball, and an excellent knuckleball. Because that's just not fair. As the only reliever expected to be taken in the first 4 rounds, it's probably Relief Pitcher of the Year award winner or bust for the Nobles and Hellbringer.
Thank you, DA, for the scouting report on Amanda Hellerman. We'll have to see if the Nobles drafted Hellerman too high. There's a point where she is by far the only elite relief pitcher in the system right now. But is the 4th round too early? Only time will tell. But I can tell you guys right now, I did not force this. I did not force this. The game actually recommended this as the Nobles pick, and I was like, heck yes! This is absolutely what they would pick right about here. So Hellerman goes to the Nobles again, as she gets picked in the 4th round this time and will be their closer. They are already telling us that they will be making her a stopper. They are expecting Hellerman to be participating in 2/3 of their baseball games, which means they're hoping that she can do upwards of 40+ innings this upcoming season. Only time will tell if she can actually pull that off, but she does have that 24 stamina. She can do it. She could do it. Moving on to the second half of the final round, we will cover live with scouting reports. It's time for the Warlocks. Pick number 85 for the Warlocks, and it will be Juan Gonzalez. Juan Gonzalez, or Juan Gon as he is known, goes to the Warlocks here in the 4th round, 85th overall selection. One of our last few balanced hitters. He has that 79 power ability with that 51 eye, 50 gap power, 63 avoid K, and 61 BABIP. This is going to be an interesting decision for the Warlocks on where they play Juan Gon. He can play left field, he can play right field. So if they want him playing either the corner or outfield positions, they can move people around. He also doesn't have a bad running game either. He's got some good base running and good bunting ability. So we'll see what the Warlocks do with Juan Gonzalez. He'll be an excellent pickup here, though. In the 4th round, 85th overall selection, Juan Gon goes to the Warlocks. Yeah, I don't know if he has good bunting skills. That might have been something that we accidentally added with some of our balancing effects. There were some pro players we ended up having to kind of not re-import, but we balanced with a different version of the pro player, and I don't know if that messed up bunting. So I don't remember Juan Gonzalez having any bunting skill at all. But regardless, I have to agree, DA might only have a 79 power, but definitely an 80 grade mustache. I agree. The Warlocks pick up Juan Gonzalez, and that means the Ninjas are going to be next. And the Ninjas, with their 86 pick overall of the draft will pick up Juan Brown.
What a ninja-like pick here with the overall 86 pick. The speedster Juan Brown could be a great leadoff hitter for that squad. The 94 stealing aggressiveness, 115 steal ability just pop off the card ratings here, and he'll get on base with a pretty even rating there with the bat. Likely to pull in some doubles and triples when he does connect. Ideally, the Ninjas can hide his defense in left field and ride that speed to ignite the offense, snagging Juan Brown here with the 86th overall pick.
And Sergeant Mushroom, good question in the channel. Why is he not fully trained left and right field? That is on me. He will be fully trained in left and right field when we get to opening day. Okay? So that is unfortunately something that I just ran out of time for. Before I took the pictures of all of the characters that have been drafted, I forgot some of the characters did not have their positions completely 100% filled out, but that wouldn't have changed this team drafting him because he was assigned as a center fielder. But regardless, they are expecting to have Juan Brown playing left or right field over the course of the regular season. So good pickup. Thank you, EVC, for the report on Juan Brown. So we had Juan Gonzalez and Juan Brown. Interesting. The Rockets are next, and with the 87th overall pickup, the Rockets will be selecting Nomar Garciaparra.
Nomar Garciaparra, or Noma, as he was historically known, is a 6-foot shortstop who most likely will be playing closer to third base, although he could absolutely play first base if necessary, but most teams most likely will not need that position filled. Garciaparra has very good contact at a 70 with an 87 avoid Ks, which is pretty darn good. His gap power is not that strong, but his raw power is at a 73. He's got decent eye, good speed, great stealing ability, amazing base running, and great bunting abilities too. Overall, Garciaparra is a very decent long-range infielder with a good bat to boost.
Thank you, Qui-Gon Jake, for the report on Nomar Garciaparra. The Rockets have actually told us that they expect to have Nomar playing third base until further notice. So Nomar third base, not great, but at least acceptable. The Rockets pick up Nomar, and that brings us around to the Frogs. The Frogs and the 88th overall selection, and with it, they will be selecting Marilyn McDonald.
For the 88th pick in the draft, the Frogs select Marilyn McDonald, and she is another defensive phenom with the ability to not only play the shortstop position as notated, she can actually play anywhere on the diamond, with only exception being catcher. Her hitting ability may be average, however, her stealing ability is above average. I have to wonder, perhaps the scouting rating is treating her a bit unfairly. Looking at her ratings overall, I personally would have rated her higher and potentially drafted her higher. Regardless, the Frogs get a steal here at pick number 88.
I have to agree. I think that's a perfect report there, Attica. I think there's absolutely an underrated pick right here by the Frogs. This might be the Frogs' second steal of the entire draft, which is kind of interesting to say that, but if my memory is correct, I think they picked up Naomi Murray a little bit early, and then I think not Whitney. It was someone else. They had a couple different people that feel like as if they kind of got picked a little bit like after when they should have been drafted already. Or maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. It might have been the Ducks. It might be somebody else. But regardless, a good pickup here for the Frogs with Marilyn McDonald. Excellent defense. And I just think the game just undervalues defense a little bit too much. So great pickup here for the Frogs. They should absolutely love this. Thank you, Attica, for the scouting report on Maryland. You're thinking of the Bears. Look at what they got in the second round. Well, we're almost up to the Bears as we have the Reapers going right in front of the Bears. And with the 89th overall selection, the Reapers select Fluffy Pillow Pants. The Reapers get the Troll here in the 4th round, 89th overall selection. This is an infielder, Fluffy Pillow Pants, also known as the Troll. He is a right-handed batting, right-handed throwing infielder, can play third base, second base, first base, could play shortstop, but we're expecting him to be a third baseman here for the Reapers coming into season 1. He's got 70 contact based off of 69 BABIP and a 61 avoid K rating, 59 on the gap power, 66 on the power rating, and 54 on the eye. Very balanced, very good hitter across the boards here for the Reapers in the 4th round. This is going to be an excellent setup call here and a setup draft for anything they want to do down the road. He'll be able to play third base. If they get a better third baseman, he can go play second or first. And this bat can be easily put into the number 2 spot, maybe the number 3 spot if they want to. Good pickup here by the Reapers in the 4th round. Yeah, good pickup here, and we'll see what that means for following rounds when we get around to reviewing all the teams in just a couple of minutes. Moving on to our next pickup, it is the Bears' time. The 90th overall selection. Guys, we've gotten through 90 picks, 90 selections, and we're doing okay. We're doing okay. We're slowing down, but we're doing okay. We'll get it all done today. We will get it all done. But with the 90th overall selection, the Bears will be selecting Strawberry.
Hello, Christopher Walken again, reading a scouting report. This time for Strawberry. That's 2 names. I believe strawberry is 1 word, but this is Strawberry. His nickname is Barry Basher, and he has a ridiculous picture. It's very hard to take this shortstop for the Bears seriously with that ridiculous picture. Barry can hit the ball a little, but not very far. He's got great defense all over the field, but shortstop, it has to be said, is his worst position. He's not a fast runner, but he's okay. His main feature is his defense. He's got 4 positions that he plays well. Now, about that picture, we need to work on that. I know some photographers. Come, Straw, I'll help you.
Oh my gosh. Ezra Denny pulling through with the final scouting report of his time here. Thank you so much, Ezra, for the final Christopher Walken report. Yeah, we might need to work on that picture a little bit. It's a little disturbing, but regardless, Strawberry goes to the Bears. So, I just got a picture of the Dr. Evil scene in Austin Powers from that. Good grief. But an excellent shortstop pick here for the Bears. This is going to really give them some of the best defense in the league if you've got Strawberry at shortstop, Bully McGuire in center field, and OBP as the catcher. This is definitely going to be a great situation for Lefty Cheese as he's got some quite critical defensive players behind him. Good pick here for the Bears with Barry Basher. That was a lot of B words. All right, moving on to the Bats. Final pickup for the Bats that we're going to actually cover for the report today. Pick number 91, and the Bats select Jason Giambi. They heard the report that they weren't getting enough actual bats. He doesn't go to a Moneyball team, but Giambino, Jason Giambi, goes to the Bats here in the 4th round, 91st overall selection. He'll be able to play left field or first base or DH for the upcoming season. That 92 power is the reason he is signed so early in this draft. He does have the 76 avoid K as well. He is going to be a bat-first oriented player. It's going to be interesting to see just what kind of a season he has, and if the Bats can use that bat of his to be able to slug some home runs in the upcoming season. It's just a lot of yellow, unfortunately, on his profile, so we'll see how it goes, but he is a left-handed hitting, right-handed throwing player, so maybe better against those right-handed pitchers that are going to be prevalent across the league as we go into Season 1. Jason Giambi goes to the Bats in the 4th round. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a good pick. The Bats go a little bit far. I mean, what's amazing is that Jason Giambi is rated 61 overall, but this is most definitely not a 61 overall rated player. Like, this is just not okay. But regardless, it was a good, interesting pickup here for the Bats. We'll see how he does over the course of the regular season. Maybe if he hits, like, upwards of more than 10 home runs, it would be stomachable. But gonna be interesting to see what Jason Giambi does over the course of the regular season. He goes to the bats here in the 91st overall pick. Number 92 is going to be the Cluckers to make. And with the 4th round, the Cluckers will be selecting Raul Mondesi.
Raul Mondesi never saw a stop sign he couldn't ignore or a pitcher he couldn't run against. If he's on base, he'll be big trouble, and he can bunt his way aboard when the infield is shifted or deep to respect his power bat. He'll be an above-average right fielder, or meh center fielder in a pinch. Opposing runners respect the arm. Mondesi is a steal in this draft slot for the Cluckers, even if he can't take a walk.
Thank you, Tetsuigi, for the report on Raul Mondesi. I agree. I feel like as if the bats... Sorry, we're going to go back and talk about Jason Giambi for a second here. I do feel like as if, that might be the one pick out of the entire first 4 rounds that I was kind of like, I wouldn't have done that. But Raul Mondesi here goes to the Cluckers. Good, more balanced bat approach, a little bit less power, and that gap power with the running ability is going to be a little bit more tangibly successful than, say, a Jason Giambi. But we are going to have to see how that power and the defense does in right field. So the Cluckers get a decent bat here to pair up with Chipper Jones and Wade Beer. So not a bad lineup that you're starting to get around here, Cluckers. Not bad at all. Moving on to our final 4 selections, it's time for the Owls. 93rd overall selection, and it's going to be Isaiah Patterson.
Isaiah Patterson, or Patty as he is called, is a 5'10 lefty batter playing primarily going to be on first base or DH. Has very, very good ratings, especially for being a 4th round draft pick. Good contact and good avoid Ks will help Patterson get on base. He has an exceptionally good gap power at 90 and can easily turn singles into doubles and triples with that power. His raw power is a 66 and his eye is 53, which is alright. Defensively, he does not have much range, error, or arm, so he will likely be relegated to just first base. Nevertheless, for a 4th round draft pick, Isaiah Patterson is quite the steal.
Yeah, it's a good batting profile. The defense leaves a lot to be desired. And unfortunately, the Owls already have Jeff Bagwell as their first baseman. So Isaiah Patterson is, I believe, slotted to be their DH as of right now. We'll have to see if that changes down the road. But as of right now, they are having Patterson as their DH for the foreseeable future. So it's a DH selection with not exactly as good of a bat as you're hoping for, but still a good pickup here. Thank you so much, Qui-Gon Jake, for the scouting report on Isaiah Patterson. Moving on to the Trains. Trains time. They come into the station with their 4th round selection, 94th overall pick. And with it, they will be selecting Willie Carranza.
Willie Carranza is one of those guys that you kind of forget is on the team until you get to the end of the season, look at his statistics, and realize he's been a critical part of your success all along. He makes solid contact, hits both doubles and home runs, and can draw walks as well. Defensively, he's most experienced in center field, but really probably profiles best as a left fielder, and I would expect him to switch to left field and get more experience there as the season goes on.
Thank you, DA, for the scouting report on Willie Carranza. Again, I think this is actually a pretty good pickup right here. Definitely going to be a good corner outfielder. He'll have that 68 ability in right field, 82 ability in left field. The bat is well balanced. He doesn't have a whole lot of speed, unfortunately, so don't expect a whole lot out of that. But this bat's pretty good. And yes, I made the joke in the chat that he will get trained in left and right field to be maximized. You get it? Trained. Okay, never mind. I'll go ahead and shut up now. Regardless, Willie Carranza goes to the Trains here in the 4th round, pick number 94. Yes, the double boo. The double boo. All of the boos. It is time for the Cacti to make their final pick of our stream before we get into the rest of our reviews. And with the 95th overall selection, the Cacti will be picking up Jose Canseco. The Cacti have selected one of the final power sluggers left in the draft, and that is Jose Canseco. His 87 power, 89 eye discipline is going to be his two primary reasons for being drafted here in the 4th round, 95th overall. He's going to have to be able to play left field or right field or potentially DH for the Cacti in the upcoming season, but that power and eye is going to make him a really quality number 4 batter, I would imagine. Maybe number 3 if you like the eye discipline ahead of somebody else who has more power. We'll have to see what the Cacti can do about this, what exactly they can get out of Jose as we go into season 1. Otherwise, though, not a bad selection to end your 4th round picks. The Cacti pick up what probably is going to be potentially their DH here in Jose Canseco, and I actually have to agree with the chat as well. I feel like as if this should have been well ahead of the Jason Giambi pickup, but I do know that technically power is going to be a huge thing in the league, but I don't really know if a difference of like maybe a couple points is going to be that big of a reason to pick up Jason Giambi over Jose Canseco. Although Jason Giambi does have much better avoid K, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting season, unfortunately. Jose Canseco goes to the Cacti, and the Whistlers are going to make up our final selection here in the 4th round. Pick number 96 goes to the Whistlers, and with it, the Whistlers will be selecting D. Fernandez.
D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D. Whistler's going in an interesting direction here with their 4th round pick, taking D. Fernandez with the 96th overall pick of the draft. Listed as a second baseman, I think the Whistlers would be advised to shift him over to third base if they can, where the range and arm will play up the best. The bat will be solid with good BABIP and some alley's power to get some doubles. Will be interesting to see how the rest of the Whistlers draft goes here to give their pitchers some defense behind their pitchers.
Thank you so much, EVC, for the final report of the day. D. Fernandez. Yes, we had a musical for a second there. D. Fernandez goes to the Whistlers, one of the final, pure DH kind of slugger hitter bats at this point. You guys can see, look at that overall and potential rating, 49. It has been such a long draft already. We've gone from all of the 80 rated players all the way down to a 49 rated player here to end the 4th round. The Whistlers get the final pick here with D. Fernandez. I believe expected to be their DH. I do not recall if that is the case, though, off the top of my head. They do have Mark McGwire, but I do believe they are expected to have Mark McGwire playing first base, and D. Fernandez, I believe, is expected to be their designated hitter going into the regular season. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it, which means it is time for a celebratory marbles race.